In every football movie, the whole gang starts doing that, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
Remember the Titans!
Titans!
Oh, they don't say the whole thing; they just say Titans. That's it.
Yeah, but the branding now.
Yeah, branding.
Yeah,
now
you can't-
DC
you
is
can't-
really gonna ream them for it if they try to remake that movie.
And yet they did think about naming their new show Remember the Titans.
Yeah, man.
Right, remember Team Titans? This isn't that.
Yeah, this is not that.
Yeah.
You're gonna be maybe a little sad.
Yeah.
It's depressing. Hello, Davey Backwards Stab, Landstander. We're getting some ooh in the chat. Appreciate it.
That's
hey,
pretty
my
good.
dudes.
I like that.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Danny Boy, Kay Houlihan, Julie Layden. Oh, Julie went to a Christmas market. I'm really freaking jealous about that.
That was aggressive.
Yeah, it was.
It
Sorry.
startled
I
me.
really
It
like
startled me.
genuine Christmas. It feels like when you walk in there, you're like, oh,
What do
this
you
is
mean
what
genuine
Christmas.
Christmas? Why are you?
All right, you grew up in Florida. Now you live in California.
Yeah.
We don't have Christmases here. They're not.
Man.
They don't feel. They
That's
don't,
bumming me out.
They don't feel like Christmas.
Yeah.
It's
You can
not
make
the
your
same.
home feel like Christmas. But when you walk outside, what is it? Night. You're Switzerland. Does it feel like a dang sauna out here?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Damn goddamn buttons are just gonna. We're gonna get flagged because all my cleavage is gonna come out. I can't. I keep trying to button it up.
I mean, we
London
need to get
Quest.
those
We're
numbers.
trying to get those
yeah.
numbers. Danny
Yeah.
boy, boys, come on! Yeah. Also, shout out to Kat for the crazy bit donation on Sunday. That was amazing.
Incredible.
That was amazing. Be jealous, Sam. I posted pics on my Twitter, dude. Julie, I'm gonna go check it out because I am jealous. They make them look like little. You know, did your mom or your family ever make those little Christmas villages where they put like fake snow and stuff? It's like they put it on a shelf, so it's like that, but you made it big and people can walk inside of them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Our Christmas village was 2 levels because on the top level you have normal human civilization, and beneath that you have Santa's village.
You have demon. You have the
No.
demons
You have Santa's village. You have Santa's village hidden beneath that, where all the elves and all the shenanigans are going down. Yeah.
pranks.
Yeah.
Or building toys.
Building toys, and but a little bit of pranks.
Do they have little moving parts sometimes?
Sometimes.
I remember the ice-
but those were always a little finicky.
Did you say ice
The
ones?
ice skater ones.
Yeah, the
where
with
they
the
would
little
just slide
magnets.
around a little bit.
Yeah.
That's also challenging.
Great.
You need to find everything the right scale. Like once you've made those villages, you've committed to a scale. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You need all the houses the same scale, or else doors don't make sense with the people.
Oh,
Yeah, it's gonna ruin my immersion.
I know exactly, 100%.
It's really an immersion. It's
really wreck it for me.
Because you sit there with like toilet paper tubes on your eyes
Yeah.
and you just like look around.
Peeping,
I am your god.
just looking,
Merry Christmas.
taking a
I bring
peek,
joy.
knocking them over.
I love doing like the dusting because as a kid I was like, I'm gonna try, Mom. I'm trying to make it even, but it's just gonna get it. It's gonna be a mess. I can't help it. Also, when I was a kid, I always wanted to touch it,
and you should.
you
You're
should.
supposed to.
You should. I
they want you
supposed
to.
There was a stall of vintage superhero posters. It was sweet. Well, I wouldn't have mind.
You know, classic Christmas vintage superhero posters.
That would have been cool. But sorry, I read all the comments backwards, and that made it really confusing. But welcome to the Only Stupid Answer Show, gang, where we talk about Aquaman, Bumblebee,
Yes.
Aladdin,
Yeah.
Hellboy. There's a lot. Also, friends over at Skybound sent us a brand new game, so we're gonna be able to play that later with our best buddy in the whole world, Austin Dodge.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah.
Can we get some Austins in the chat, please? And thank you, Davey Backwards Dab. He's already on top of it. He was doing it quick. He did it real fast.
His finger was on the trigger.
There he is.
Do you want to get right into it?
Oh yeah, because you're running to a thing tonight. Yeah. DJ got invited to a cool thing, so we gotta
Well,
make
we
sure.
both did.
We both did.
Yeah.
But I'm tired. I'm a little sleepy. But also, gang, this is the last Only Stupid Answers show
Yes. Ever.
Ever.
No,
No.
of the year.
for the year of 2018, and there's not gonna be any Super TV tomorrow because we're done with that.
Yeah, because
the year.
there's no more shows.
No, there's one, but man.
Yeah.
There we
And
go.
so we're going to be taking a couple-week break. However, there will be new podcast episodes on Monday.
Yes,
So
and
stay
new
tuned for
YouTube
that.
videos.
On Monday. No,
On
we don't.
Monday.
We're still figuring out when those are going up, but
Yes.
they will be coming. Mm-hmm. The big swig.
Ooh, that was a good one. Wow, that's coffee. No.
Wow, that's coffee.
Starbucks really nailed down the recipe of burnt coffee and then just as much sugar as legally possible
Yeah.
to put into a drink. It's more than a smoothie. Let's kick it off. Let's go. Can you throw up a fun fact, Austin?
There's one.
Oh, here's what matters, gang. This is the segment where DJ and I go through the biggest news stories of the week. We fill you in on all the important stuff and give us our hot take. Give you our hot take.
Give you a hot take.
Give you one hot take
Give
for
you
the holidays.
your hot take.
Uh-oh, it's cold outside. Better take this hot take from
Yeah,
us. So you can
holiday
stay
hot
warm.
takes with Sam and DJ. That's branding.
First up, if you notice on our YouTube channel, that was tension. We
Yeah.
like to talk about the DC. Wow, we like we like to talk about the DC Universe app and all of its original programming. We talk about Titans. You can check out our reviews on our YouTube channel. But also, we've been talking about all the new shows coming. You got your Doom Patrol.
Yes.
You got your Young Justice.
Yes.
And we're getting Stargirl.
Yeah.
Yeah, how you feeling about that? Excited?
I'm interested in it. I was reading a thing today that Jeff Johns is the showrunner of it, which feels like he's got more on his plate than that. So I don't know if that's the case or not. But
Yeah.
it is his baby. He
Yeah.
created it based off his late sister.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's heartfelt.
Yes. So it's a character that's near and dear to him. We've already got some major casting. And what's interesting about it, not only do we have the casting of the main Stargirl, but the other characters are from the traditional superhero team, the Justice Society of America.
Amen. Justice Society, I've missed you. It's a good team. I'm a big fan of that team.
Yeah, so we have some of the people that we have here is Lou Ferrigno Jr. is Our Man.
Wow, we already got an Hour Man live
Yes.
action for half of
We also have
almost a whole episode.
We also have Dr. Midnight. We did in that too, and now he's been cast as well. And his name is here.
Henry Thomas.
There it is.
Boom. That's a Henry Thomas if I've ever seen one.
And he's from Haunting of Hill House, which I highly recommend, by the way.
Yes.
And of course, playing Stargirl herself is Breck Basinger
yes.
as Stargirl.
But the big one this week, the one that was surprising, like the biggest name attached to
Yeah.
this, is Joel McHale as Starman, aka Sylvester Pemberton. And if there's comic book fans about to jump at us, don't, because this is what articles have been saying that he's been playing Starman.
Yeah.
But normally in the comics, Sylvester Pemberton.
Well, originally he's the Star Spangled Kid,
There you
which is
go.
what Stargirl's based off of. And the gimmick of Star Spangled Kid back in the day was that the kid was the superhero and the sidekick was the adult, reversing
great.
whatever. And so in that was their thing. And then in Stargirl, her stepdad used to be the adult sidekick. Is now her stepdad. So now he gets like mech armor to go out and fight crime with her.
AKA.
And Stripe.
There you go.
STRIPE. It stands for something. Yeah, it's an acronym. Whatever. It's better than back in the day. Back in the day, he was Stripesy. Yeah.
Make it a little bit better.
Yeah.
Make it the tiniest bit cooler.
But Stargirl does have association with Starman because her energy rod is traditionally a Starman item.
Interesting.
In particular, Jack Knight, which doesn't get enough love, unfortunately. I think because the guy who wrote Jack Knight has a little bit of stake in the character, so they have to pay him every time they use him, so they don't use him very often.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I mean, good for the guy.
Yeah.
But it's a bummer that they don't use him because I've seen because he was in, weird little throwback to what I know him from is that last year, maybe 2 years ago, DC released their Dark Horse and DC crossover comics. So you had Batman and Hellboy, but you also had like Superman versus Predator and like Batman versus the Xenomorph and like all those other stories backed in there. But eventually Batman just left and it became Starman, the Jack Knight one, and Hellboy teaming up. And I was like, oh, I wanted Batman here. But Jack Knight was cool, but it's just like that's my introduction because he looks the coolest out of all of them.
Exactly. James Robinson was his creator, and sometimes you get a little nods to him, like in Smallville. I think they made Sylvester Pemberton have the leather jacket and that thing. So they might do something here where like Joel McHale is playing Sylvester Pemberton, but it's Jack Knight Starman essentially.
So I'm excited to get the Justice Society. We already had a live action version of them twice in the CW show, and they couldn't do Justice League in Smallville, so they did the Justice Society, and then same thing, and then they did it for Legends of Tomorrow, which was fun for the most part. The coolest one was Obsidian, honestly.
Yes.
I really because they got a good character.
They got a cool actor to play older Obsidian. Yeah.
From the Saw franchise, and I can't think
Aliens.
and Aliens, and I can't think of his name, and I'm gonna be looking it up in just a second. You guys be nice to us in the chat. No, I'm gonna look them up really quick. But no, so we've seen 2 versions of this already, but since this is probably a 11, 12, 13 episode season.
Currently, right now, it's supposed to be a 13 episode season.
Oh, now you're doing it there. Good
Yeah.
call. I was gonna pull it out here. There you go. But no, so we're gonna have some time to play around with these characters. Hopefully,
Lance Henriksen, of course.
Lance Henriksen. Oh,
Yeah,
he's in Mom and Dad.
Yeah,
he's a really good
he's
actor.
a Mom and Dad.
Yeah, he's a Mom
Man,
and Dad.
that's a good movie.
That is.
So,
you've seen it?
Love it.
Finally, one other person's seen Mom and Dad.
It's so good.
It's so good.
So good.
Yeah.
So it's a real winner. So with the focus on Justice Society here, I think you could have something cool where this kind of feels like a kind of a counterpoint to Titans, where because the description is she's inspiring a group of younger heroes to stand up and fight for whatever. And I'm assuming it's going to be like characters like Obsidian, second generation versions of the JSA, because Jeff Johns also did a long run on JSA that included Stargirl.
Is really highly praised.
Yeah, he's got a lot of love for these characters,
which is weird that they've been gone from DC Comics for so long in the weird ways. But I wanted to talk about some characters I'd actually like to see show up from classic Justice Society. And if you guys don't know, the Justice Society has been around since the 1940s.
They are the original Justice League.
Oh yeah, it's the name's not as cool as Justice League. I think they kind of nailed it with that one.
Yep.
Also, Champions is cool, but we're on a different property there. I'm a big fan of that name. But I wanted to talk about some of the characters that I would want to see, and your staple characters usually when it comes to Justice Society are the Spectre. He's usually there, a version of him that's not as crazy as the current one is, and a Dr. Fate. And Dr. Fate did pop up on Smallville.
Yeah, he did.
A giant helmet.
He sure did.
He sure
and
did.
his helmet has popped up on a few places.
Yeah, Constantine for a second.
Yeah, Constantine and in Legends as well, I think.
Maybe in the background. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
There's a few hints to him, and I would actually very much like to see a version of him where there's a budget behind it, because we've seen on Titans that there is a budget to at least make the costumes look cool, and I think Spectre's an easy one to kind of pull off. You just need to make the scale of it, however you want to do it. I think you could have a lot of fun with that. And also, there's a lot of mixture there of the same kind of threat level that Raven is in Titans, where it's kind of like demonic, otherworldly threats, but with Spectre it's no, this is 5 dimensions higher than you can really understand, and he's pretty ruthless. So it'd be a fun kind of dynamic to throw in there. But when it comes to younger generations, I didn't know that she was inspiring a younger generation. A character that was introduced during, I think he was created in Grant Morrison's JLA run, but then he moved over to JSA, because I only picked up one random JLA comic. It was in the middle of his entire run, and I just have 6 stories that don't line up. Morpheus from Sandman pops up in there, and he kidnaps Starro. Real confusing. But Jakeem Thunder takes over this genie entity and becomes the new Thunder part of the JSA. I know I'm explaining a lot right now, but basically he's able to control this imp that can kind of rewrite reality, and it's like having a genie. And Jakeem is a great character.
Originally was Johnny Thunder back in the 40s or whatever, and Jakeem Thunder is the modern day.
And if you're reading Doomsday Clock right now, Johnny Thunder is a main character in that.
He's around. We could also, like we said, Obsidian, who's the son of the original Green Lantern, Alan Scott. You could have. There's a few Wildcats after Ted Grant that could be really interesting.
And Jay Garrick's a classic one, so it's kind of hard to do this show without having, at JSA without having Jay Garrick in there, because that's usually
or Alan Scott Green Lantern.
Yeah, you kind of have to.
I mean, they did it without. They did both Smallville and the Arrowverse did it without those characters.
They did tease. Actually, Smallville did show them. They did. Show
did they have a Jay Garrick?
Yeah. So it's when Clark and everyone find out that the JSA was a thing, because they've met a few of the characters, and now they're no, the JSA was fully a thing, and they even have the big mural that was on one of the covers. It's a mural in the show, which is great, and they show that a lot of them got rounded up and arrested, and in this black and white archive footage, you see a man grab the bars of his jail cell, and he's got the ring.
Nice.
And Jay Garrick's written down somewhere, and then he shows up later in the Smallville number 11 comics.
Gotcha.
He becomes a big part of the story.
Yeah, I think I like the idea of this kind of being. People are gonna hate this, but I feel like I like the idea of this being kind of like a Disney Channel younger audiences type show.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
You should have a little bit of that on this app, because you're skewing. You have the adult audience, so you have your Titans, you have your Doom Patrol, everything, but also make stuff that is approachable for younger audiences.
Exactly,
it's not just Young Justice.
And I think Stargirl's a perfect character for that. I think Stargirl's a very cool, inspiring character. I think she has a lot of potential as a character, and it would be interesting to see some of those. Honestly, if I were to pick one, I'm excited to see their version of Stripe. I think that's a cool character, and it's a cool dynamic because it's her stepdad that initially she resents, and so they learn to care about each other. And I wouldn't mind a version of Jack Knight. I think he's a really cool character. Starman's a really cool character, and I don't think because I don't know what the reasoning is, but we probably won't get that. But maybe Joel McHale, even though he's not. Doesn't really, personalities are pretty different, but you know what I mean. But I don't know. We'll see. But I'm excited to check this out, and it's cool that they're diving into, and we might get a truer JSA than we have in the CW shows.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm excited to see what that means. Because I know a couple versions of them, and you're right. There hasn't been one that's fully it. I bet you we're gonna get a hawk person.
We'll probably get a hawk person. Hey, now that we bring it up, we've never gotten a live action Alan Scott, and that could be really cool.
Yeah. You had Obsidian, which means there had to be an Alan
Theoretically,
Scott.
he had to be running around somewhere.
Also, cool Easter egg for this video. My voice cracked earlier, and I needed I'm proud of it.
Yeah, I just want everybody to know.
And so if you guys' voice, gotta do man stuff sound. But yeah, if you guys are excited for the JSA, and if your voice cracks, let us know in the comments down below. We can talk about it. Mine does it like at least once a day. But I'm very excited. Also, just fun shout out to other DC Universe properties. It's been confirmed for Doom Patrol that my favorite character, Danny the Street, is going to be playing a character, and I read a little synopsis about what he's doing.
Yeah.
And it sounds scary. Part of it does, part of it doesn't.
Like scary, like intentionally scary, or scary like, oh, this might go off the rails?
It sounded, the way I interpreted it was that there's going to be a person that is created from Danny that like is this, I think, a cross-dresser, and then which lines up with that Danny is a transvestite based on a comic, but also he can infect people that move in to wear like his like street. And
interesting.
Like, maybe part of him's like maybe it's nefarious, maybe it's not. I don't know. It's a little hard to make an anthropomorphic street. Like I don't know what that means, so we'll have to wait and see what that's like. But moving on, I think you suggested this when we were playing out this live stream, and I'm very excited to talk about our 2019 most anticipated everything. So we're talking movies, we're talking video games, we're talking about TV shows. There's so much, and even comics. There's so many good things coming around the bend.
Yes.
Coming down the pike, as if you were. I was thinking about the roundabout ones. Yeah. The ones where you can, like, when you start speeding, you, like, lean into it, like it's Tokyo Drift. Anyways, I'm excited to talk about all of the upcoming things, because when you brought this up, I started looking into it. I was like, wow, there's a lot of good things coming out.
There's a lot of exciting things coming out in 2019. We'll see. Some of my things are reported to be 2019s.
We hope.
Yeah, exactly. We hope. So we'll see. A lot of movies in here, but trying to mix it up a little bit. We got a comic thing, a couple video game things. But let me kick us off.
Yeah, let's kick it off.
If you would let me. I am excited for, and this one's early. This one's coming right around the bend. Is Glass. Unbreakable is one of my favorites. Movies, especially superhero movies, one of my favorite movies. And then Split was a pleasant surprise, and it was a cool addition to that universe that we didn't know was a universe at the time.
Yeah.
And so the second Split ends and there's that end credits tease, I was amped to see where this would go next. We're getting it. It's coming out next year. The trailers make it look like exactly what I want it to be. But there's a little bit of concern. You know what I mean? Like,
and rightful.
Yeah, M. Night Shyamalan just got out of his skid a little bit. You know what I mean? So it's like, and this is surprisingly ambitious.
Yeah, this is Ewan writes, I'm so freaking hyped for Glass. Yeah, no, same. Yeah. I 100% agree, and I am gonna need to not go in with high expectations.
Yeah, little gun shy, but looking forward to it.
But for me, top of my work, since we're moving up to our most anticipated, lower on my list, I'd say is Pokemon Detective Pikachu. Pokemon
Detective Pikachu
How to get
/
the title right. There you go.
The Murder of Orient. No,
Murder on the Orient Express, and Pikachu's gonna solve it.
Yeah.
And this is coming out May 10th, so it's a little bit later, but still kind of early in the year.
Why have they not done they should do a poster of a lineup of the people they're going after, and like you got to catch them all. And like there's a bunch of crows.
Oh
like,
no! Yeah, I mean,
you're welcome.
There's no way they don't do a couple. Like, or have Pikachu in that, and they say got to catch them all.
Yeah.
Or will they catch them all? And then he's covered in blood. And you're
exactly.
like, oh god!
He's got a knife, and he's like, what's happening?
Yeah. No. So I was kind of like I was driving by myself, and I didn't want to listen to a podcast or music, so I started like kind of like really diving into like, what is this movie? And then like I'm like, I like the trailer. There's creepy elements of it. Yeah. Because I never needed the Pokemon to be live action, even though sometimes you're like, Pikachu would probably be cute.
Yeah.
Especially chubby Pikachu. Can we get some love for chubby Pikachu in the chat? Because
let's get some chubby Pikachu love in the chat.
They slimmed him down. If that's a personal health choice, good for him. But if he was forced into it, that's not fair. You know, you better be happy with his. Find some happiness in himself. But anyways, I am so interested that I think this is a really cool way. We talked about in another video that this is a really interesting, and I think maybe the best way to kind of let people into the Pokemon world, because I feel like whoever's going to see this movie knows Pokemon. Yeah. But if you happen to go there and you kind of don't know, like you kind of get the gist, it's like, oh, you catch Pokemon, whatever. Yeah. And they're like, no, there's like a world there's a world that functions with all of these creatures and stuff, and I like the idea that like you get to see it from this person investigating this world. So you get to be inquisitive and you get to ask questions, and you're going to get answers to it throughout instead of just following a 10-year-old through fighting
They are
adults.
shockingly young in those games.
Yeah.
And just going off on their own.
Yeah, and parents encouraging them to go out. Like, that's not the kid being dumb. They are encouraged to leave home and not come home until they're done.
And then in the cartoon, he's hanging out with like pseudo adults. Yeah, you know what I mean.
It's weird.
Yeah,
it's definitely. And he's like they're sleeping out in the woods.
Yeah,
like they don't have
with wild animals.
With wild animals.
Terrorists are after them.
Yeah, those are. It's problematic.
This got really dark. This got really dark.
I think you can make fun of that in the movie, but while also like kind of cherishing like the stuff that people like. Because like you should make fun of it a little bit because it is a 10-year-old. Like
it's a child.
Yeah, it's a child. So I'm very excited about that. But what's
it'd be
next
funny
for
if that
you?
movie opens up with them just releasing a bunch of 10-year-olds into the wilderness.
It's the Boy Scouts.
Hope you make it. All right.
Don't bring them back.
So for me, this one is lower on my list just because I'm not sure it's actually coming out in 2019. I was reading some stuff that said CD Projekt Red got a grant to like a donation from the government to make it, but it has to be made by 2019, and they haven't extended it yet. You know the detectives when it comes out to like figure out when stuff's coming out. So if it comes out this year, Cyberpunk 2077. It will be whatever year it comes out in. My most anticipated game of the year. I love to cry. I know. Oh no. My voice also cracked. You can catch it, everybody. So I love Witcher 3 is one of my favorite games of all time. And I'm very excited for this game. Fingers crossed that it does actually come out because these big, massive. I mean, they've been working on it for like 8 years or something. It's crazy, but yeah. So we'll see if it comes out. I'm excited for it. Fingers crossed.
Well, definitely coming out is Godzilla King of Monsters. That's May 31st.
Yes.
So the month of May, you're getting Pikachu and you're getting Godzilla, and I'm excited. I'm very excited for this movie. The trailer looks like what I want these movies to be, and for me, Kong Skull Island, which I liked more than Godzilla, but I still had my problems with it. They just kind of like shove these movies full of like humans, and it's like, oh man, you guys are missing the point of why I just want these monsters to fight. Like I don't know how to make that like as crystal clear as possible. That's all anybody wants in these movies. I don't want to know like, but are we the monster? I don't care. Like I don't care that what you think about yourselves. I want those monsters. And so since you're getting 3 monsters for the price of it seems like we're finally like at least a step in the right direction. And also since you were a big fan of these creatures and you kind of told me more about them, I'm like, man, these are really cool. Yeah,
this stuff gets me amped.
Yeah, and I can't believe King Ghidorah hasn't been in. Like, we made a Godzilla movie, and I know Godzilla was like, the bad guy in those, but it's like, why didn't you guys do this character like immediately?
Yeah, there's also a few other like lower tier ones that you could have done instead of just the random
bugs.
We just called them the acronym, right? MOTU. That's just whatever. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're excited for this movie. For me, switching up a little bit, going into comics, and it's tougher with comics because they usually have a tighter turnaround, so you don't really know about them like a huge amount of time in advance. So this one's coming early. It's literally January. It's literally coming out. Is the new Young Justice line. I believe it's called Wonder Comics. One of the comics is Young Justice, along with a bunch of other characters, shepherded by Brian Bendis. And it's got a lot of my favorite characters in there, like Tim Drake and Connor Kent, Superboy, and Impulse.
The Wonder Comics imprint looks really cool. You have Young Justice, so it has that team. But then you also have a new one. I think it's called Naomi.
And then the Wonder Twins.
And then Dial H for Hero. And our buddy Sam Humphrey's been on the show. Fan of the show. Friend of the show.
Probably will be back.
And he's writing Dial H for Hero, which
Very
makes me
cool.
excited.
Very cool. So I think it looks great. These are cool characters. I'm glad that they're coming back. And so as far as comics go, looking forward to next year. That's something that's really exciting me.
Oh yeah, I'm very amped though for a new horror entry. It's it's definitely a blockbuster horror movie, but I very much enjoyed the first chapter of It. So It Chapter 2 has me hyped, and it's mainly honestly like I'm excited to see where the story goes because I've made a really big effort to not read more about what happens in It.
Good job.
Definitely people have told me things and that's fine, but I want to see where the story goes, and also the cast is crazy. I think Jessica Chastain gets me excited, but also you have the kid actors who I thought were really solid, and you get Bill Hader and James McAvoy in a scene together, and both those actors are so full of characters.
Yeah.
Like when James McAvoy, we split. Just you can see his whole range in that
Yeah.
movie. But Bill Hader, like you've seen like through SNL and all of his voice work, like he has a lot of characters inside of him, and I am excited to see what that looks like on screen. And I like these I like these blockbuster horror movies doing well. Like Halloween
100%.
last year was like super good, and I really liked it the year before that. I hope it's good. Please be good. It has a chance.
It's got
to be
an
bad.
amazing cast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hope the cast gets to shine.
So going back to video games for me for a minute, we should be getting another new Pokemon game this year, and a legit entry into the franchise, not like a spin-off or like one of the.
Yeah, we're getting. You got a from Austin. You got a from me because I think you're poo-pooing. Let's go Pikachu. Metlin's in it. What's his name?
So with this new entry, it's being handled by Game Freak. It'll probably have a new country to explore with a whole bunch of new Pokemon. So it's not like a remake like Pokemon Let's Go or whatever, or the what are those dungeon mystery ones? Anyway, so yeah. So it should be a new entry. It's for the Switch, which is new for them. So and I can guarantee that one of the reasons Let's Go exists is because it's them playing around with that technology leading into the, because they always kind of do that. They always put like out a test one, and before they do the full entry. So I'm very excited for that.
Oh, Kate Houlihan's on board. Give me more Pokemon.
100%.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna be getting this game. By the way, I am now back on the Pokemon train. I was able to stave it off for as long as I could, gang. But I got infected. I'm gonna need to play more Pokemon. Like I'm playing Pokemon Go. I'm catching all Pokemon. I'm transferring to Let's Go. And I'm beating Let's Go. It's great. And I'm playing Super Smash now, and I'm playing with Pikachu and Pichu, which is basically the same character.
Yeah.
I'm getting Mewtwo soon. I'm so happy. What I'm really excited for, though, speaking of electric type, Pikachu, Lightning, I'm excited for Shazam, which is coming out April 5th. By the way, it's coming out September 6th, so that's later in the year. That's that's late in 2019. But
I was saying it. Sorry, the movie Chapter 2 is coming out September 6th.
There you go. But Shazam, April 5th.
Yeah.
And a few days after April Fool's Day. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, DJ.
Yeah.
No, I'm just excited because we're going to be talking about Aquaman later. If you watch this on YouTube, there's probably a review up. But I'm just... I am extremely intrigued by this. David Sandberg, who directed this and did the prequel to Annabelle, which actually turned out to be really good, and I've heard nothing but good things about
Apparently,
Lights
we're getting
Out.
an Annabelle 3.
Yes, late in 2019. Buckle up, gang. I don't know what more to do with that, but we'll see.
They'll figure it out.
But no, his directing style, like I actually really enjoy the way he works with actors, and it seems like he's just having a blast with this, and that's all I really want. Like that's really like, it's kind of the same stuff with James Wan when you saw that, like, oh, he wanted to go big with Aquaman. It's like, okay, I'm getting that. I'm getting a similar vibe, but not in scale, but in just genuine like good character and storytelling from David. So it's like, I'm interested to see what they do, and Shazam's one of my favorite characters, so I can't wait to see what they. I'm excited to see Zachary Levi shine in a starring role like that. Chuck. Go Chuck.
Go Chuck. For me, the thing I'm most excited about next year is John Wick, Parabellum or Chapter 3, whatever they end up calling it. I'm a huge John Wick fan. I'm a huge action movie fan. And this has to be, like, again, I'm a little nervous because you've got, in my opinion, two basically perfect movies. So it's like at some point they got to let me down, right?
Yeah.
Like at some point, like this train can't keep going the way it's been going. But I'm super excited about it. There's an image going around online with John Wick on a horse murdering a man on a motorcycle. And it's just like, yes, please. Yes, please. More, please. Thank you.
Are you bummed that Common is not coming back?
Yes.
I'm
also bummed that
the scene in the...
One of the best scenes. I'm also bummed that Trinity in the Matrix.
Yes.
That actress.
Carrie.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm bummed that she's not, because we've got Larry Fishburne. We got Lawrence Fishburne in there, and it's like, hey, let's get the whole Trinity in there, huh?
That would have been cool. Maybe surprise us. Hey, she was in Bye Bye Man. You can get her in this movie. That's fine. Oh, for sure.
She's not showing up for. She might be showing up for season 3 of Jessica Jones, but that's shot, right?
Oh, yeah, that's probably done. Yeah, she's got time, and she's already in New York. Carrie Ann Moss.
Carrie Ann Moss. My brain got stuck on Carrie Russell. I'm like, that's 100% wrong.
And I had Carrie Fisher in my
head.
See? But for me, the biggest movie that I'm most excited for is Avengers Endgame, because it's the
big one.
Ultimate ending. ending to what the story that they've been telling. And so I'm interested to see where they're at. And I feel like the Russo brothers are going to finally, or not finally, they've had chances to show like deep emotional like scenes with these characters.
Yeah.
They've really nailed it, especially in Winter Soldier and Civil War, and I felt so in Infinity War. But and when it comes to the end here, it's like some of it's like last goodbyes to some characters possibly, and I'm excited to see how they explore that. Also, this part of the story is when like you can feel like the clock ticking. It's like there was already a ticking clock, but now it's like this is kind of the worst natural disaster
ever, and it's gotta be
ever.
This has to be the biggest movie of the year, right? Because it doesn't have any competition from like Black Panther or Aquaman.
To be fair, Star Wars does.
It does. Yeah, it's true. That's true. So
year.
it's either but Wonder Woman was pushed to the next year, so it's like.
And Joker's coming out too, but it's like.
But as far as like, you know what I mean, as biggest movie of the year, it's probably got to be this.
And Star Wars, like, it's gonna sell. It's gonna do everything that it does. You know what I mean? And it's just, but I can tell like fans and casual people when it comes to Star Wars are kind of. I think they're a little burnt out. But like, look at Solo. Like that. Yeah. That's a pretty good example of like kind of like lukewarm feelings towards that franchise. I'm not trying to poo-poo one to make one bigger. I'm just saying I think you're right that Avengers
this is probably the biggest movie.
Is the biggest movie, and I'm interested. You know, like I'm on board, and you know we're gonna be getting doing our reviews for that, so I'm very excited for that. But also we've got a couple other reviews that we want to do today that we want to talk about. So Austin, could you throw up a fun little fact, and we'll be right back.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, gang, welcome to what we're into. We're going to be talking about everything that we're into this week. First up, though, we want to do some quickie.
It's a little nuts. Couple big things happening today. I think first up, we got our first behind picks of Aladdin.
Check it out.
This is the Entertainment Week. This is the Entertainment Week cover. And I feel like they're at least if I were to gauge this room in particular, I'd be like,
It
is.
Also, finally we got to see the transition, and you nailed it. You nailed it. Yeah. So, I think it would kind of help if we zoomed in and cut out everyone's faces, and you look at just the costume design. I just want to say out front, because we have different opinions on this. If you look at it, you're like, you know what? When it comes to like animation, like everything's a lot simpler because you don't want to like make something too complicated and have to like replicate it over and over again. And I like that like this feels true to like the region that this would be set in, and like it feels honest, and I appreciate the costume design. But then when you add it all together, it's like it feels a lot and also messy. How do you feel about this?
To me, it all looks like glorified cosplay. The thing I'm excited about, I like the idea of Will Smith as the genie.
I like the idea of it.
I don't. Listen, man, I gotta be honest. I'm not on board with these live action remakes of the Disney movies. I'm just not. And then they're not for me. That's it. End of story. So you're probably not gonna get great. Though I liked Jungle Book, but you know what? I didn't like the original Jungle Book. I liked the original Aladdin, and I liked the original Beauty and the Beast, and that also underwhelmed me.
Yeah, that did.
Yeah,
I did.
Stevens
was great, but it's basically the same thing.
Yeah, I just can't imagine this Aladdin movie like. I think I like Will Smith as the genie because it's the one thing that feels really different.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
But Robin Williams.
Yeah.
So it's and not to knock Will Smith, but Robin Williams.
Yeah.
So that's it's tough, and I'm not gonna poo-poo it too early. I'll just say that this and the other photos that came out did not get me super duper pumped.
Yeah.
I want to cut his puppy down. I want to. There's a lot of volume. Right here, but it's clearly trimmed here.
Yeah.
It's like that joke in Ralph Breaks the Internet. It's like Zangief, he has hair here
Yeah.
and deliberate chin hair,
Yeah.
but nowhere else, so he has to be shaving.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Just saying. So the other big thing that dropped today is we got a trailer for the new Hellboy movie, which is first trailer, which is now just called Hellboy.
Yeah.
To even make it feel more redundant. Here's the thing. I enjoyed the trailer. It definitely felt like every other Hellboy movie to the point where I was like, why did we bail on Guillermo del Toro doing more of these? Why did we decide no more of that? Because
there was definitely more story to tell, and he wanted to tell it.
Yeah, and Ron Perlman definitely wanted to be involved. David Harbour is good as Hellboy.
Yeah, and I like the group of people that he's with. I think that's interesting. Ian McShane, really can't go wrong with him, honestly.
There's also a really funny joke where somebody shoots at him, and he tells them, hey, I'm one of the good guys, and it's definitely a joke from the second movie. It's almost the same exact joke.
Mm-hmm. Which is rough. But
and none of the creatures look as cool because Guillermo del Toro is not doing it. That's not a knock on, I think it's Neil Marshall is directing, and he's a talented director. It's just hard to compete with Guillermo del Toro.
Nicky Fraggles writes, Hellboy equals hunk. Oh, for sure. That dude's, woo, for sure. What's this? It's if you were like, man, I just really wish Hellboy was just like really just eviscerating people. And I'm like, I didn't need that.
Yeah.
But if you want that, you're getting it. So buckle up. I don't know. Really, I was actually really underwhelmed. I thought the humor was bad, but I liked some of the visuals in the trailer. But I don't need it to be super violent. I get it's demons and all this stuff and whatever.
Also Guillermo del Toro does R-rated movies, so if you just said, "Hey, be more violent," he would have done that for you.
But hey, you know what?
Yeah.
Again, a little early to say anything. Actually, not that early
It's
now.
a trailer. We got a trailer. Yeah, we got a trailer.
So that's just thoughts and feelings. But Aladdin, we have a trailer for that one too, so I can share my opinions on that. Anyways,
there's an on trailer.
Remember the teaser that like showed like he was reaching?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm a little underwhelmed by both of these, but guess what, gang?
Yeah.
That's enough speculation. All right, we have
Get it out of here. Get it out of
reviews.
here.
Let's talk about Aquaman. Now, Aquaman just is hitting theaters December 21st. So if you want to go see this, make sure you get your tickets now. But we were able to see it early.
Yes.
And we have our full review right now on Rotten Tomatoes, if I may.
If you may.
It's currently sitting at 69% from all critics.
69!
Yeah. Sorry.
We got a little lost in that.
Boys be boys. But this is directed by James Wan, and it's written by David Leslie Johnson McGoldrick and William Beal. The story is from Jeff Johns, James Wan, and Will Beal. And, of course, the character is created by Mort Weisinger and Paul Norris. I made sure I got all this down because they are credited in the movie, and I want to make sure I give credit to all of those
100%,
individuals.
100%.
And the cast, of course, is Jason Momoa as Arthur Curry, a.k.a. Aquaman. You have Amber Heard as Mira. Patrick Wilson as Orm, a.k.a. Ocean Master. Willem Dafoe as
Volko,
thank you.
Yeah.
Nicole Kidman as Queen Atlana, and the main man himself, Dolph Lundgren, as King Nereus of Zebul. Oh, I was a nerd that I nailed that.
Yeah, you did
pronunciation.
You did nail that.
But here's your quickie synopsis. Arthur Curry learns that he is the heir of the underwater kingdom of Atlantis and must step forward to lead his people and be a hero to the world. Now, we were able to see this last week, and actually, a lot of you guys could probably have seen it too if you were Amazon Prime members, so we were able to go to our theater, and I will say that there was a point when the audio cut out from our movie, and they did not want to restart it. They just kept going. It was only maybe 1 minute, but boy, let's give a shout out to the comedians in the audience that really put in their
you know what was funny is
their commentary.
It sucked that the audio cut out. That sucked.
Yeah.
What made it?
We figured it out.
What made it 1,000 times worse were the people behind us that really thought they were cutting it up.
Yeah.
Because they tried to fill in the dialogue with their own bits that involved very many dick jokes, and of course, yes, there were children in the audience.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
Also, big shout out to the movie cop that was sitting there. He was like, "Hey, person front row, I see you using your phone. If you do it again, I'm gonna freaking bash your skull in."
Yeah, which was crazy because I thought it was one of those, when we do the screenings, it's one of those like, hey, we can't have you spoil the movie. It's like, no, this was just a dude in the audience that was real aggressive about it.
Well,
but you know
cool
what?
dude.
Now that we've gotten that stuff out of the way.
Also, need to brag a little bit before the movie started and you weren't in there.
Yeah.
They just played Spider-Verse for some reason,
Yeah.
so I got to watch just the middle of Spider-Verse for fun.
Yeah.
Anyways, humble brag, really cool.
So as far as this movie goes, for me, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was it's interesting because it doesn't feel like a superhero movie. You know what I mean? It doesn't follow a lot of that formula. It's more of I've heard a lot of people reference this. It feels like an older adventure movie, like
80s,
80s, a lot of 80s. But for me, and I think we saw Bumblebee close to this, and I think that helped me compartmentalize this in my brain. And I told you before, it feels like less like an adaptation of a comic book and more like an adaptation of an 80s cartoon that I grew up watching. Just with its energy.
Aquaman TV show.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if there was an Aquaman TV show that was a lot like He-Man, and you made that into a movie, that's what this is.
Yeah.
And because it is, when you talk about scale, it's crazy to me that Infinity War came out this year.
Oh my God.
And it did. But as far as scale goes, about the stuff you're seeing in the world you're exploring, all that stuff, this movie felt bigger to me, which is insane to think about.
I think I mean, I agree with you.
Yeah, because it's not like, hey, here's Atlantis. It's like, well, there's 5 kingdoms in Atlantis, and each has their own thing, and we're also going to see old Atlantis, and then Aquaman's going to go to all these places, and you're like, this is nuts.
Yeah, they fully build out a world.
Yeah.
And it's not just like, no, it's not like really getting to know like these 3 or 4 characters in Iron Man's world really well. It's like you get to know,
which has its merits.
Which it does. Yeah, I'm not knocking either of them. But in this, it's more like you're getting your 2 teams, and there's a very few people there that you're really getting to know. And but it's more about laying the groundwork for the entire like you mentioned earlier before the camera roll, but it's like a universe. It's on it's a world, but it's his world.
They give Aquaman his own universe, and I think the biggest praise I can give this movie is that there was a moment, like, just if I'm just being candid, growing up, Aquaman didn't do anything for me. Like, it just he doesn't mean it. He's not like more obscure characters. Like, I love Doctor Strange, you know what I mean? And now he's big now, but at the time, you know what I mean? Aquaman got none of that. But there was a moment sitting there like, damn, Aquaman's badass.
Yeah.
And I never thought, even when you cast Jason Momoa, even all that stuff, I never really thought I'd have that feeling. And this movie gave me that feeling, which it's like, good job. Yeah, mission accomplished.
Yeah, no, I will say that James Wan, the director of this, he's done basically creator of Saw, Conjuring, Insidious, director of Furious 7.
Yes,
correct? Yeah,
yes.
And he's very good at building out. He's good at world building, and in this movie, and stunts and action.
Yeah.
And so in this movie, if you were worried about the action, don't be.
Yeah, just don't be.
It's so unbelievably impressive because he not only is able to like nail like one fighting style, like you get basically like 9 different versions of fights, like with tech, with weapons, hand to hand, underwater, on land, in air, like for like a second. But like you still like you get like you get it's so dynamic, and the world, like you said, it's like there are throughout the movie you get a lot of subtitles when we go to a new kingdom, and it's like it kind of feels like you're looking at in my head like a lost map of a world you never got to experience, and like you're exploring. It's like, oh, this is this king, the kingdom of this, the kingdom of this, and the more you explore, it just it feels larger than life, and there's you can see a lot of things pulled from other franchises, and that's not a bad thing. I just mean that you can see influences from like Indiana Jones. You can see National Treasure gets one specific, we're going to do our podcast episode to listen to. There is a scene that is like what happened in National Treasure.
That's
not knocking
funny.
it though.
That's funny.
And the way that they're able to build out Aquaman and make him like a hero. They make him a hero. And a lot of times in movies we see like the reluctant hero where it's like he doesn't want to be doing what he's doing. And I think this is the best example of how you do that right, where it's like, no, it's not about like being Spider-Man or something or being Batman. It's like, no, if he doesn't step up, there could be like global consequences to what he's doing, and that's awful. Like to someone who already doesn't want to do something. And so you can feel for him, even though he can be a dick. But like he can be a dick. And also, I want to praise Amber Heard because Mira, like I think. Personally, I think she's cooler than Aquaman.
She definitely has cooler powers.
Yeah, she has.
She has water powers. Yeah, she has water powers.
You have the power that you thought Aquaman has, but Mira has it. She's able to manipulate water, and like they really make her cool.
Jumping off of that, something I really liked with this movie is that I really like the dynamic between her and Arthur. I think Jason Momoa gets a few really good scenes in this, and they're all with Amber Heard. And a lot of times you'll have movies that be like, no, the love interest matters, and it's like, do they though? Yeah. And this one, there's a reason on the posters and stuff, like it's her and him. Yeah. They are a team. They really could not accomplish this without each other. It's
Yeah.
not like watching Ant-Man and the Wasp and be like, no, Wasp would have been fine.
Yeah,
yeah,
Ant-Man
Wasp
didn't need
would
to be here.
Yeah, Wasp could have 100% taken care of this. It's-
Shockingly, Ant-Man will put more people in seats than the Wasp.
Yeah, so in this one, it's like, no, they are 100% a team, and especially since Mira's abilities are so cool, it's cool that the movie gave her that space to be essentially the co-lead.
Yeah, which I very much agree with that, and I enjoyed it. But I do have to say, I think world building, scale, and I don't know if you've mentioned this yet, but like there's a silliness to like Aquaman.
Yes.
This movie fully embraces.
Yeah,
with He-Man and stuff, but like it doesn't back down from every aspect of the character, even stuff I didn't even know, and it fully like goes in and explains it, and it's like gets you on board with it.
It's not afraid. This movie is not a movie that's afraid to be silly. There's not an idea that's like, no, that's too silly. It's like, no, we're doing it.
Yeah, it's all of it, and it makes it as epic as it possibly can. And I think it accomplishes that. But since we're in overall thoughts, we'll kind of break down like specific like positives and negatives when it comes to this movie. I'd say that where this movie excels is everything that James Wan is really good at, from my point of view, is the action.
Yeah.
Nicole Kidman gets an amazing scene as Queen Atlanta, which I love, but also Arthur and Mira throughout, as well as Black Manta. The action, the world building, the way and the CGI, like the CGI is unbelievable in this movie. They like kind of like Fantastic Beasts. That movie has so many problems, but
it looks good. It looks good.
And this movie looks good. This movie's better than that movie, by the way. Like 100%.
Just throwing that out there.
Putting that out there. But where this movie falters, in my opinion, is the script. And it's not in every scene, but there's a lot of times where I'm waiting to care more about what's happening, or more about like these people meeting and these people like getting to know each other, and I'm not feeling it. Like I'm not. It's like there's the connection's not there, and and it's mainly in what they're saying to each other, and a bit of the pacing during those specific scenes. Not in the movie overall. I think the pacing in the movie overall is actually pretty good. It really chugs along. But when it comes to those scenes, suddenly the movie kind of feels like it stops. Yeah. And I'm like, what? Just come on, gang! Like do just one more take of this. Like, because I feel like maybe make the lines work a little bit better, or just rewrite it. I don't know. It gets clunky at times when it comes to the script, and it makes me disconnect from it. Yeah. And I'd say. There are times when like the silliness I think I hate like 90% of the time, and there's other times when I'm like,
yeah, maybe
like,
back a little
like,
bit. For me, I a lot of the character connections, specifically Aquaman and Mira, and then Aquaman and Orm, worked for me. I will say, as far as the script goes, it's because this movie tries to do so much. It's very expositional. A good chunk of the conversations in the movie are explaining things that are happening, and I feel like there's a way to streamline it. As much as I like all the bits, and I want all the bits and the villains and all this stuff and all the different worlds, it does get bogged down in explaining where these things are, why we're going there, where, you know what I mean, and I feel like it makes the movie a little bit longer than it needs to. But for me overall, for each one of those like detraction I had, there was like two other cool things that made me forget about it.
And I'd also say when it comes to like negatives, I think the score in specific, like people's specific themes when it comes to the musical composition are good. And I think it really captures what that character is supposed to be. But I think overall the way the music is utilized throughout the movie could be a lot better. And I think it's because I think the score is so good that it should have been used better in the movie. And like you know, also another movie pulls from Tron. You get a lot of Tron vibes, even with the music. At one point, I'm like, did this happen? Did this happen in Tron? I think it did. I think this exact scene happened in Tron, the new one. So, and I wish the music was utilized better, because in other movies, because we talked about this earlier, there are times when the score is fine or non-existent, but because it's not really offensive and it's not on my mind, I can ignore it and be more forgiving towards it. But because the score would come in, I'd be like, that's really good. Why are they using it here? Like why are they choosing to use it now? It bums me out. But like we like to do 3 positives and a negative to like kind of like boil our review down to something that's easy to digest. If the movie's about to start, don't worry, we're almost there. But for positives, what would you say your positives
for me
are?
I would say I love the scale of it. I love how it moves to its own rhythm. It's definitely finds its own way to tell the story, and it's not trying to fit the traditional superhero movie formula. I like the dynamic between Aquaman and Mera and how their relationship is utilized in this movie.
I love the way that this world is explored. So like the world in general, because it's like every time you like it feels like you're turning the page to a new chapter, and you're like, wow, this is really cool. Like this, and like it's making the world as fantastic as any comic book could possibly be.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that, and the CGI, like I think it's incredible.
Yeah.
And the fighting, like because the
fighting is
talking
about the CGI.
incredible.
Every time you're introduced to new armor or a new creature, you're like, oh, that looks amazing.
Yeah, like you just try to think about it. There's like a scene where a bunch of our like antagonists kind of are in a ship headed towards another kingdom.
Yeah.
And like they're in the cockpit basically, and they're floating in the cockpit as this ship is floating to where they need to go.
Yeah.
And you're like, how'd they shoot this? Like, they're not on wires. There's no way they're on wires, because that would be hell for all these actors. And one of them is like Willem Dafoe in this scene. You're like, there's no way you got him to do this.
Yeah.
But like their hair is moving around, and their bodies are like naturally moving. And there's a fight scene that'll just knock your socks off between Orm and Aquaman that is fully underwater, and you could see Orm, like Patrick Wilson, I've never thought is like a physical threat, but there's a point when they're fighting, like Jason Momoa, you see him and you're like, whoa. But Orm like does all these movements where it's like he knows what he's doing in this, and this character knows how to fight in this scenario. Also, it goes into one of my favorite Mera water-based things that she does.
Also,
and it's absolutely incredible.
And just little touches, like in that scene, Mira's wearing a dress made up of jellyfish.
Yeah, and there's an octopus playing the drums.
Yeah, there is an octopus playing the drums.
Yeah,
There is a.
Yeah,
that's one of those.
If we're talking about weird stuff, if you aren't on board with that, then don't see the movie.
Yeah,
honestly.
exactly. Yeah, if you, there's been a lot of movies that come out like, oh, it's weird. No, this movie's weird. Yeah, this movie really goes for it.
And I love that they gave him the room. I still think there's some. I think my main negative is the script. If like the music could bug me, and sometimes the exposition can bug me, that like there's so much that you have to learn, which I get.
Yeah.
But there are different ways to go about it. But also, I think in my head, James Wan was like, we just need to make this look good. It can't look bad because there's so much of it that is just underwater the whole time. It has to look good. And so I get it. I understand.
Yeah. And it's for me, I would say it's just a little bit too expositional. Specifically, there was a scene early on that I was like, uh-oh. And it's with two characters, and one of them was like, hey, I know we're in the middle of being pirates, but we're going to talk about your backstory a little bit. Yeah. And it's like,
My favorite was like, hey, innocent people are dying. Come here.
Yeah.
Long kiss. And I was like, that person just said innocent people are being just exploded. Like, you need to do something.
That scene didn't bother me. If I'm being
I was
honest.
just like,
I get it, but it didn't bother me.
And like, so I was like,
so we like to have fun ratings for these movies, and so for this one, this takes place in the depths of the ocean, right? And then traditionally, the deepest part of the ocean, I believe, is the Mariana Trench, which is 10,994 meters deep. So out of 10,994, what would you give this movie?
Well, here's your letter grade.
Yeah.
I'd give it a C+, and I think it's a high C+, because there's a lot that this movie does well. But there are times I'm just distracted. Yeah. And I think I get disengaged with the movie when it gets to those points, and that's what bums me out, that I got so disengaged. And so that bums me out. So obviously I have to have a very concise.
So that's
score.
that's probably like around a 7,500.
Let's go with 7,500. That sounds good.
Yeah, 7,000 out of 10,900.
So I think 7,900 to like, if these numbers mean anything.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, there we go. 7,900. Oh, what about you? What was your letter grade?
For me, I'd give it a solid B. So that's what, like 84?
8,000.
No, 8,400.
Yeah.
Meters.
The Marinara Trench.
The Marinara Trench.
Yeah.
Everybody's the Marinara Trench. Yeah. So those are our ratings. Oh, and then we also like to do real quick.
Yeah.
What would you put on
Quote
the
on
box?
the box.
Quote on the box.
Quote on the box. I would say, wait, I got it. I know how to. Hold on. You have it?
Yeah.
Okay, go for yours.
I'd say, is Aquaman cool? Question mark. Like, or like, damn it, they made Aquaman cool. Mm-hmm. There's a moment when because he does go on a journey to become Aquaman, and when he's Aquaman, when he's full Aquaman, you're like,
wow, he's
Aquaman's pretty cool.
Also, who's the actress who plays Mary Poppins?
Julie Andrews.
Yeah, you're gonna love her role in this movie.
When I heard about that at first, because I was trying to stay spoiler free, and I heard about it, I'm like, that's probably gonna be dumb. It's not. It's actually awesome. Not. Yeah,
it's really cool. It's You better buckle in. Mine would be only losers would think this movie's lame. Guys, put that on the, put it bold letters.
Yeah.
Make it italicized too, so you make sure you see it right when you look at the box. All right. It's a great movie. And guys, coming out December 21st. So let us know in the comments down below what you thought about that. But let's keep going. Let's talk about Bumblebee, the newest installation in the Transformers franchise. Boy, howdy, this is E.T.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got ahead of myself.
No, really, it's E.T. with a little bit of Iron Giant and probably not as good as you'll remember those movies being.
Yeah.
It's not. Here's the thing. Before going into it, you probably had a similar experience that I did, where a lot of people were like, "Wow, this is the best Transformers movie," and you're like, "What does that mean?"
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And 100%, it is. It is the best Transformers movie, and the feeling I had coming out of it was like, "Wow, that was nice." A lot of the Transformers movies make me feel like trash.
Oh yeah.
And this was very nice.
Yeah, this was very nice. But what's also nice is it was directed by someone that was not Michael Bay. His name is Travis Knight. He previously directed Kubo and the Two Strings, and it was written by Christina Hodson and stars Haley Steinfeld, John Cena, Angela Bassett, Justin Theroux, and Dylan O'Brien. There are other cast members, but those were the biggest names. On
Two
the
of
list.
those people are Transformers, and you will not know that they voiced Transformers until the credits.
Three of them are. The last three are all Transformers.
Okay, yeah.
Dylan O'Brien is this. The tiniest little bit. You do hear Bumblebee speak for a second.
Yeah.
And that's Dylan O'Brien.
When I found out Angela
He made
Bassett,
sweet money from that.
yeah, when I found out Angela Bassett voiced one of those Transformers, like, wow, what a waste.
Yeah. I really wish you were a person.
Yeah,
in this.
she is way too talented to just be voicing one of those Transformers. But
Anyway,
anyway,
I hope her and Justin Theroux had fun together.
Yeah.
But here's a quick synopsis. On the run in the year 1987, Bumblebee finds refuge in a junkyard in a small California beach town. Charlie, on a cusp of turning 18 and trying to find her place in the world, discovers Bumblebee, battle scarred and broken. So overall thoughts, I agree with DJ. It's just. It's a refresh. I think this is if this isn't a restart on the Transformers franchise, that's stupid. Because I think we should say sayonara for those first 5 movies.
yeah, 5 of them.
5 of them, man.
Yeah.
That's so many. Just start over and and do this. This is a cool new start to it, and that it is a kind of a love letter to the old cartoon. I feel like I know there's plenty of fans out there. I've never seen these, but the Transformers animated movies that everyone's like they were crazy, they were so bold.
Specifically, Transformers the movie.
Yeah, I've never seen it, so you don't need to.
Orson Welles voices somebody in the voices Unicron. Orson Welles, his last role, I think, was voicing Unicron in Transformers the movie.
Weird.
So if you
weird.
thought Angela Bassett was wasted,
I mean, besides that, I just think that I know a lot of people have a lot of love for this, and I think this movie has a love for the franchise. I honestly, and instead of feeling it's not embarrassed. It's not embarrassed by what it is, and at first I'm like, oh wait, maybe this movie is a little strange because it's a Transformers movie. But not really. It's more about this girl and Bumblebee figuring out who they are and everything. But it turns into this really honestly heartfelt, inventive self-discovery movie where it's like, there's plenty of action in it that is so dynamic. It's more dynamic than I think any Transformers movie. Honestly, I think that you still get awesome fight scenes in Transformers movies. But in this, and I think it's a testament to Travis Knight because he comes from an animation background, like we mentioned, and so you can see that he gets really creative. He gets really, really creative.
It's also cool that the Transformers look like the Transformers, specifically Optimus Prime. It's like, oh, Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
Also, Soundwave gets I think it's in trailers and stuff. Yeah, but like it's.
Oh, he speaks and he sounds like the coolest character ever.
Yeah.
It's great. I
And it was immediately
really good. Thank you.
I thought my nostalgia for this franchise had pretty well killed off. Starting with Transformers 2. I enjoyed Transformers 1. Transformers 2 was one of the worst dog shit movies I've ever seen in my entire life.
I did not mind the third.
And yet I still have seen I've seen every. I walked out of Transformers 2 and was like, I'm done. Never again. And somehow I've seen every single other one. Most of them have been for work.
Yeah, all of.
Yeah.
No, the third I was sick,
same.
and I went to a red box.
Yeah,
and picked it
there
up.
it is.
That's
But yeah, but this movie brought back some of that nostalgia, specifically with Optimus and Soundwave. And I like that the designs of the Transformers are more coherent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a Bumblebee is his design is really coherent. It's almost like simplified. It's just it makes it easier to understand what's happening, but while still being cool. And he's adorable. And
100%.
One of the sweetest moments, it's in the trailer. Bless you.
Bless you again.
One of the sweetest moments for me is this moment where the premise of the story is that he's lost his memory, and
Yeah.
so he doesn't have a name. He doesn't know anything. He can kind of understand Charlie, this girl who finds him,
Yeah.
and fixes him up a little bit. And there's this moment where he doesn't know how to. He can't speak, and he doesn't know. It's kind of sad, like just thinking about that whole situation. And he's just kind of like humming along because that's all he can really do. And she's like, "Oh, you kind of sound like a bumblebee." And it's like that's like a sweet way of creating a character's name. It's one of my favorite ways to create a character's name, where it's just like it's endearing. This movie is a Transformers movie for kids, and a lot of them are not that. They're
not at
for
all.
that 13-year-old that are just getting all their hormones are flooding them, and they're like, "Whoa, yeah, edgy.
Yeah.
What's it like? Punch a goddamn VW bug in the face." And
Yeah.
it's like, just chill out. And this movie chills out while giving you some awesome action. The final like fights in this.
No.
It weirdly answered a question that I had about Transformers that was like,
Wait a second.
what does happen if blank does blank? And
Yeah.
it's not great.
Right.
It's awesome for me, not great for them.
Yeah,
and
not
it made
great
me
for
very
them.
happy.
Yeah, so I think this is definitely an improvement for the franchise trajectory, because again, like, it is a kids movie. It is the first time where it's like I could take a kid to see it and not feel gross about it.
Oh yeah. Also, John Cena is like fine in the movie, honestly, but he's got two of the best jokes.
100%.
Two of the best jokes in the movie.
The two laugh out loud moments in our theater were both John Cena moments.
They were it was so honest.
Yeah,
It was so funny.
Yeah, so props to him. Props to Haley Steinfeld for really grounding the movie. She's a good anchor. You talked about earlier, Godzilla, I just want to see the monsters fight. I don't need people. If you're going to have people, Haley Steinfeld did a good job. Also, I think it's Pamela Adlon plays the mom.
Real good.
Good. Props to her for doing the mom role. She did a good job making that something.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, I enjoyed her as well. Also, props to John Cena's chin. Can we go ahead and pull that up one more
Yeah,
time?
just pull out that
I feel like
chin.
it really held up, or at least leveled out the movie.
It
real
really
well,
is.
'cause it's,
That chin is superhuman.
yeah,
if we're being honest.
it's
So
insane.
I think when we're talking about our positives and our negatives,
Yeah.
That's a chin.
Wow.
it's for me. It's nice. It just made me feel nice. It's family friendly, which is what these movies should be. Those are my two of my positives for the movie.
I'd say it goes in line with your family friendly the aspect of this. I just wrote, you don't feel gross, and and it's just nice that you just like can enjoy this, and it's not trying to make fun of you for liking what this is.
Bumblebee's not trying to pee on anybody.
Yeah.
No Transformers have balls for some inexplicable reason.
It's really
They're
confusing.
not just shoving cleavage in your face, and you're like, what's even happening right now?
And you're like, you don't have a weird argument for why this 21-year-old can date this like 16-year-old.
Yeah.
Like weirdly, that's not happening in these movies. Who'd have thunk that wouldn't be
What was
happening?
that, 4 or 4?
That was the Romeo and Juliet law. Yeah, I didn't need to know that was a thing, but
Yeah.
hey, who cares? It's gross and weird. But also, I'd say I thought the action was amazing, and and another positive, the creativity for how Bumblebee transforms. There's just a little moment where like he's in a confined space, so he half transforms to just kind of move around easier, and I'm like, yeah, of course you would.
Yeah.
He's a transformer. The whole point is that he transforms. That's the point.
I think that's the benefit of having an animation director doing it, because all the little touches that Bumblebee does makes him more relatable as a character.
I love these.
Yeah.
His little antenna, whatever they are, because they're not functional. They're just there.
Yeah,
And
they're
it's-
just there to help him emote.
Yeah. But for negatives, I wrote paint by numbers script. Because it's just you know where the beginning is and you know where the end is, and it's but the journey along the way is enjoyable.
Yeah.
But I also agree with your negative.
Yeah, my biggest critique, I realized the day after, was that I had forgotten that I'd seen it.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, it's nice and disposable. Like it didn't really leave an impression with me. Which, I mean, hey, better than a bad impression, I guess.
It's because it's inoffensive. Like it's not you're gonna have a good time if you have kids, or if you have like nieces or nephews, or if they babysit kids and you need them to just shut up for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
You just go ahead and take them to this movie, and they're gonna have a good time. Honestly, and you know what? And
You're
not,
a bold babysitter if you're taking the kids out to a movie.
Yeah, you're hoping that they're gonna be good.
Yeah.
But no, they're gonna have a good time, and honestly, you're gonna have a solid time as well. But you know what? Let's give a shout out to the critics over at Rotten Tomatoes, who have given this film a 93%. That's all critics. That's insane. I know we have a consensus there. I think it's like 7.2 out of 10.
Which
Or
sounds,
as of the time
seems
of prepping this.
Yeah, it seems more right because
Yeah.
it's a good movie, but 93%. Oh my goodness.
No, yeah, that's a little.
That makes it seem like it's one of the
high.
best movies of the year.
But out of well,
How about 1987? 1987.
Hey, about
'Cause
as
it-
easy as normal.
Yeah,
So I think we got that.
because they make it clear that like, hey, this is definitely the 80s
Mm-hmm.
because all those songs are definitely songs that you hear when other movies want to help you think of the 80s.
Oh yeah, there's maybe another negative.
Yeah.
It's very it's 80s adjacent.
Yeah.
It's
as-
a poster of the 80s in the background of the movie.
It's as much 80s as those like retro shirts at Hot Topic that you
yeah,
can get. Yeah, it's that
Yeah,
type
like
of
those
80s.
Nirvana pullovers. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
the
those
amount
are.
of 80s we're talking about here. Anyway,
I'd say out of 1987, easy number.
Yeah.
I'd give the letter grade. I gave Aquaman a C plus.
Yeah.
And now that is a different video, I can't change and make it what I wanted to make it immediately, which was a B minus. But
Yeah.
I'd give this a C, like
Okay.
a nice C minus.
Okay.
C minus because it's not. I don't find it to be a bad movie. It's just there.
Yeah.
And so 1987, easy. It's 1500. 1500.
1500.
Easy. I found that easily. easy peasy.
It's easy. I think I'm gonna give it a solid C, and that would be
1500. So
I
that's a
think
C
1500
minus.
is wrong
Yeah.
though. I think that's wrong.
Probably, but go ahead. And,
Oh, okay, hold on. We can figure this out. Okay,
I
so in 1987 you can write that up to 2000, right? And half of that will be 1000, so that's 50. So you're talking about I'm going to say it's 1450.
There you go. I'm sticking by my number, but it's my letter grade C minus. So there you go. We're a learning channel. Thank you, Clay Noggin, in the chat. That is true.
You guys are learning with us. 1500 is a 75.
No,
You're not far off.
Before we head out, Rick in Your Mouth, great username, writes, did the director of Bumblebee make a huge difference in the Transformers movie formula? I'd say it's a different formula. It is a familiar one.
Yeah.
But you are, if they move forward with what they've set up here, you're going to be getting different movies, and that makes me happy. But quote on the box, it's just delightful.
Yeah.
Make a little Bumblebee, like scrapbook Bumblebee kind of floating around next
Yeah,
to it.
there you go. I think my on the box would be, oh yeah, these are kids movies.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, wait, you remember that?
There's no shame here!
Yeah.
Exclamation point. That's what's going to be on my box. But guys, let us know what you think. It's coming out December 21st. So if you guys see it, let us know in the comments down below. But DJ,
Yeah.
it's time for
Pull list.
a staple of this show.
Yeah.
Staples. Brought to you by Staples. No,
pull
so
list.
is
I hope.
pull list. It's a little light this week because next week is
very light.
is the day after Christmas, and so most comic companies are like, hey, we're not gonna put out a lot of comics except for those godless heathens over at Marvel because they got a lot of big releases coming out. But two of the bigger ones are Superior Spider-Man #1. If you're like, hey, I prefer my Doc Ock as Spider-Man. Congratulations. Christos Gage, that's written by Christos Gage with art by Mike Hawthorne. And then you've got a new X-Force coming out, which I'm excited to check out. Every time they come out with a new X-Force, I check it out. And sometimes it works out for me and sometimes it doesn't. Let's hope that this one is a win. X-Force #1, written by Ed Bryson with art by Dylan Burnett.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, there it is.
Christos Gage is writing Spider-Geddon right now, or they just finished that. And also he wrote for Spider-Man PS4, which is a fun segue to say that Spider-Man PS4 is going to be getting its own comic. And I would advise, even though Christos Gage is great, maybe give a little knock-knock to Tom Taylor because he nailed Injustice. I know it's different worlds and stuff,
Yeah.
but adapting a video game into
did a good
comic,
job.
he did a stellar job. So maybe just ask him for some tips or
See,
something
hey,
like that.
I think
just
he just
tips.
can't cancel X-Men, right? I think he's got a docket.
He's got what was doing Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, so he's writing.
So you're getting your Spider-Man comic.
Yeah, but I want this one to be a good
Fair
one.
enough,
But
fair enough.
gang, I'm excited because we're playing a very exciting game when we come back in just a second called Pitch Storm. We're gonna be pitching our own movies, so stay tuned. We'll be right back. Of course, Staples is still around. Staples brought to you by Office Max. Only Stupid Gaming.
Plays of the year.
Wow, you did speak into the
Last plays of the year.
Welcome, gang, to Only Stupid Gaming. So we're going to be playing a very fun game. You guys have seen us play Red Flags, Super Fight, and then a mismatch that I messed up. You can go check out our YouTube channel for that one.
Yeah.
It's a fun one. But today we're going to be playing Pitch Storm. It's from the creators of those games, and it's very fun. We're going to be creating our very own movie pitches based on cards we have in front of us. And you know what, gang? It's going to be more fun if we bring a friend over.
Yes, always.
Austin Dutch, come on down. Boy, how you
Dog
doing?
pound, rise up.
Yeah,
What's up, everybody?
Rise up, for
Hello.
sure. Rise and grind.
Rise and grind, as
All
you
right,
gotta.
so I'm going to kick this off. The whole point is that two writers, I'm going to swing a rotate how this works, is going to be coming with a pitch for a movie using character cards and plot cards. You're going to just pick one of each, and then you're going, and for 45 seconds, you're going to pitch it to the executive or the judge.
Okay.
And during all of that, the judge is allowed to pause at any point in the middle of your pitch and add notes. And
Gotcha.
you have
Like
to,
real life.
like real life, and you have to incorporate it and think it's a great idea regardless of how
best.
bad they are. So kicking it off, I'm going to do, I'll be the executive, and so that you guys can get like a feel for it.
Okay.
And the way this works is that you're going to pick three either character cards or plot cards.
Okay.
And pick your favorite one. After you do that, put it face down. Go ahead and do that for now.
Three of each or just
No,
three
there's
total?
three of one. Either you want to do character cards or plot cards.
I'm gonna go plot.
Well, since you went plot, I'm going to go character.
Okay.
Alright, so you'll
Because
have
I'm
to look,
contrarian like that.
Don't tell anybody what they are, and I'm going to be picking three note cards.
I accidentally pulled 4. I did not see that one.
There you go. Cool.
This is all the same game. We're not mixing up games here.
We
Just checking.
double checked, but
Checking.
I did put the So Bad It's Good cult movie expansion for Pitch
Whoa,
Storm, which
cool.
is very exciting.
Okay.
And so go ahead and pick your favorite, put it face down,
All right.
and then you can hold on to the rest of them, but you're not going to be using it for this round. And then pick just on top of the other deck, pick one card and set it down. Don't look at it.
Just one.
Yeah, just set it down. There you go. And then there you go. And then to my left, that'd be DJ.
Yes.
You're going to have 45 seconds to pitch your movie. Ready, set, go. All right, check it out. What do we got?
A homicidal puppet and his homicidal wife falls in love with a much older man. Much older man. So these
Homicidal
two
puppet.
puppets and the homicidal puppet's wife, fall in love with this much older man. You know, these homicidal puppets, they are looking, they've been murdering all over the country. And they finally come into the possession of this much older man, and they both fallen in love with him, and they're both trying to find their way.
Really quick pause. Let's add football. It's a classic
Oh,
all-American sport,
yeah.
and I really want to get Middle America. All right, so go ahead.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Like, this much older man is a famous football player, and we can go back and we can get a famous football
So
player.
it's so who are you thinking?
You know, I was thinking,
go
like,
for it. You got this.
listen, one of the most famous football players in history is O.J. Simpson.
Wow, boy.
Yeah. And so we'll get Cuba Gooding Jr., who played O.J. Simpson,
there
and
you
thing,
go.
to play current day O.J. with these homicidal puppets. They relate to O.J. for obvious reasons.
That's great.
So when there's conflicts, pause.
yeah.
Do you think we could replace every conflict with a dance song?
100%, because
Okay,
once
cool.
you have Cuba Gooding Jr. in there, we know Cuba Gooding Jr. is an amazing dancer. All right, so
Jay McGuire,
these
probably.
homicidal
Right.
puppets, and now again, Cuba Gooding Jr. is playing O.J. Simpson once again, reprising his role from the critically acclaimed American Crime Story, and we know he's a great dancer. So these puppets are trying to learn to love again with O.J. with dancing.
All right, pause.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Beautiful.
Do you have a title for this movie?
Not yet.
Okay, we'll go ahead and work on that. We'll go over to this. To
All
your
right.
and reset the
Woo.
timer for you.
Hollywood, baby.
Also, I set it to 45 minutes, even though I was joking earlier, and I did that by accident. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and reset that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's hear your movie 3, 2, go.
All right, this is great. I already forgot what I picked, but here we go. This is great. So movies, they're so boring these days, but this one's really gonna knock your socks off. You know, kids, they love to trip on acid. They've been doing it their whole dang life. And so here's the crazy part. They're tripping on acid, and they're seeing demons. But are these demons real or no?
Okay, here you go. Pause really quick. What if the main character's best friend is secretly God?
Wow, well this is actually incredibly convenient because our main character here is, his whole purpose is he's trying to keep their cat safe while being hunted by these demons. But they don't know, are these demons real or are we tripping, boys? The
the best
convenient
of this.
part, that cat is God.
Whoa. Okay.
That's halfway through the movie. I don't want to spoil it.
Okay,
But if you have more notes,
I'm thinking Game of Thrones now, and like that's pretty
Yeah.
popular. What do you think if we set this during the medieval times instead?
oh, absolutely. I feel like there'd be snow everywhere, suffering all over. I think that adds to the demon aspect. There could be
for
like
sure.
the plague people walking
Oh,
around.
yeah, plague people.
There's a you know the famous plague people.
Yeah.
The audiences love the plague people.
So
you know?
really quick, the plot of it is we have friends tripping on acid.
Bunch of dudes tripping
Dudes
acid,
tripping
protecting
acid.
a cat that happens to be God.
But protecting them from demons.
Demons.
Cool, but it's set in the medieval times.
Yeah, there's a lot of suffering.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so DJ, have you figured out a title for your movie?
Yeah. If I did it.
If I did it.
Wow.
And sum up your movie one more
So
time.
we've got these homicidal puppets that have now come into possession of O.J. Simpson, played by Cuba Gooding Jr. From American Crime Story.
Boy.
Yeah, exactly. And every conflict they run into, instead of having that conflict, they have a dance off instead. And yeah.
So you're getting like a Legion, like psychic dance battle instead of an actual dance battle.
Yes. All the murders happen.
I feel like I
dancing
gave that
as well.
one to you, but
Yeah.
you feel like that's where the inspiration.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense. Cool. All right, cool. And then for you have a bunch of kids, just a bunch of kids.
Just a bunch of kids having a
medieval
good time.
kids. They're tripping on acid, and they are trying to keep their cat, aka God,
Right.
safe from demons in the medieval times. And that's crazy because the demons, like that's like a legitimate
Oh
fear.
yeah,
And
they loved the demons back then.
And do you have a title?
Well, the title's in the works. But what they're saying so far, the writers are saying, is it demons or no?
Yeah. Oh, cool. So
It's
like,
one of those question titles
you
where
do
you're
love a good
asking.
Shyamalan twist.
Yeah, it's fun. Is it
all right.
demons or no?
Is it demons or no? Okay, so right now I'll tell you what's in.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones. Tell you what's not in. O.J. Simpson. So I'm gonna have to
That's
go with
true.
all-
American Crime Story was
If
an
I did it?
award-winning.
Yes.
Was an
And
award-winning.
so is Game of Thrones.
That's a good point. Well, thank you so much.
All right.
And there's some, in when it comes to Middle America, when you see, God's your best bud. God's so close
That's
to you.
true.
It's like
Yeah.
you have that love for your pet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a note you gave. You can't give
Hits
them
them all.
all.
But
No, you
it's just
gave-
it's a
Okay,
it's
okay.
collaborative.
It's a great note.
Yeah,
That's what producers
so
do.
Go ahead and hold on to one of those cards.
All
and
right.
discard the rest.
I'll take the God one.
Here's my notes. I'll put the note over there. You can put the notes over there for you. And then
Okay.
DJ.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll discard them right here. There you go.
There
There
we
you
go.
go. There you go. The bears. There you go.
But-
All right, go ahead and you're gonna be the executive this
Okay,
time, so you
how
can
many-
pick 3 of those.
3 of notes.
And I'm gonna pick 3 character cards, and Austin, same thing. So you're gonna pick 3 of one of those. Pick
All
your
right,
favorite.
let's go. I can do plot too, yes?
You can do plot. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna
and
go
then we're gonna
plot.
randomly just pick the top one we find and add it to there. Ooh. I know how to. I know what kind of movies you like. So
Oh, let's
I picked
go.
that. So I'm gonna
Boom.
pick just the first plot I see on top. And then without looking, you're just gonna grab
Oh,
the other
yeah.
ones. Cool. So it's to the left of the executive. So 45 seconds.
Okay.
And also you can kind of wiggle with it. You can give it a little bit more time. My demons.
My demons.
Alex, thank you. All right, Austin, why don't you kick it off?
All right, let's go ahead and start this.
When I
pitch.
give him a note, I have to pause it.
Yeah, you pause.
You can do a little
All right,
pause.
right. 3, 2.
Oh man, now this is a hit.
Yeah.
We love a good underdog story. We all do. This one has a great character. This one is a charismatic film director with absolutely no talent as our main character here.
Been there.
And that's the thing. His only talent so far is making an absolutely beautiful daughter. And he will do anything to make sure his daughter wins the beauty pageant.
Whoa.
Interesting. That's interesting. Tell me more.
Well, the great thing is he's been trying to make some cool reels for
All
the
right, hold
daughter.
on.
And
What if we set this back in biblical times?
oh, that's the best part. Is the beauty pageant is really intense. The winner gets to stay alive. Everybody else stoned to death.
Wow.
It's a shame.
And
That's
they're
intense.
So the
That's
stakes
intense.
could not be
Hold
higher.
on. We really don't like your actors' teeth. Can you film them from the nose up?
Oh, absolutely. The cool thing is that actually ties in perfectly with our director with no talent.
Yeah.
This is actually from his perspective the whole time.
All right, hold on. Do you have a title for this?
Not yet.
All
It's
right,
in the
okay,
works.
Okay. Do I pull more?
You can refill to have 3
Okay.
at all times.
Okay, so that's Austin's. All right.
Pretty
All right,
exciting
cool.
stuff.
Pretty exciting. So,
So-
you can workshop a title.
Yeah.
All right.
All
So
right. Ready?
yeah.
Go.
All right, so this is a classic tale, and I feel like this is going to be really up your alley, sir. Thank you for seeing me today. I really
Yeah.
appreciate that you have the
nice.
time for me. I have a pitch here. Interior spooky castle. Picture this. The grandson of Victor Frankenstein. So he's got
Okay. All right.
a troubled past. He's got a lot of family baggage, but guess what? He fights hordes of cannibal mutants and still finds time to go to the mall.
Wow.
So not only is he dealing with
Okay.
his best buddy sidekick, which is Frankenstein, who's still alive. He's still living, but he's kind of
Yeah.
falling apart. But he's
Hold
also
on. What if the whole thing was set on an airplane?
Oh, that
we
works
love
out
that.
because it's present day because we're
Yeah.
actually catching up because it's been so long. But Frankenstein's still alive. We've kind of had to replace more body parts from him, but he's still fighting hordes. He's learned to skateboard. He's getting the girls. Frankenstein's finally getting a date to prom.
What do you think of? Man, I really just want to use one of these.
One of mine was all their teeth are genitals.
Okay, let's make all the characters middle-aged white men. That's an underserved demographic.
Oh, classic.
Oh, cool. That is. You're very right. So yeah, the grandson is older, but
Yeah.
he's finally going back to school, kind of like a not a Billy
Okay,
Elliot,
all
but
right.
a Billy Madison
Gotcha.
type situation. And
Gotcha.
Frankenstein, of course, he's like 300, 400 years old.
Time's up.
Yeah, I just wanted to make
time's
sure
up.
I
All
got
right.
all the best pitches in here.
I'm gonna just throw this out there. I really wanted to use this because I pulled this for Sam's, but it didn't work for. It wouldn't have like thrown yours way off the tracks like I wanted. 2 notes. Let's make this a romance and add a swarm of birds attacking and killing people. I was really bummed that I didn't get to use that.
It's a good one.
That's a good one. Austin, do you have a name for your
Yeah,
movie?
this one's is a well thought out title. The film is filmed from the nose up,
Yeah.
so it's mostly the eyes, and it is about a beauty pageant with the director. And so the writers have told me it's going to be called "Beauty is in the Eye of the Director."
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
All right.
It's a little
It's
experimental.
a little wordy. Title's a little wordy.
Okay.
Sam.
Well, I've actually been sitting on this even before the idea.
Ooh.
Okay.
It's Frank and me. So you're getting 2 apostrophes in the middle. So it's like Frank and me. It's kind of
This
like
one wins. This
Buddy,
one wins.
take it.
You got me at Frank and me.
Frank and me, I'm in.
Yeah.
There you go.
Already
Oh,
bought my
man, that
ticket.
makes me happy. Now, Austin,
You deserve it.
I'm going to hold on to one of these. Do you still have your one little ticket?
Oh, yeah,
there
the
you
gold
go.
one.
That's the golden
Yeah.
ticket. We're going to best of 3, gang. So I'm going to discard my notes.
All right.
Discard my character. Discard my plot.
This is fun.
Yeah,
it's
I'm
a
very
great
excited.
game.
So now, Austin, you get to decide.
Yeah,
Right.
so you're going to get 3 note
3.
cards.
Oh, sorry
And
about
I'm
that.
so sorry.
I picked my characters last time. I'm going to pick 3 plot.
I'm going to pick 3 plots as
Do
well
it
because
up.
I also did characters last time, and once again, I almost picked 4.
There you go. So
Some
cool.
classic producers notes in here.
Yeah.
That's
Needs
a
more
good one.
middle-aged white men.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
That's a good one. All right, so. Oh boy, that's a tough one. This would be a really good mystery one.
yeah.
That would really.
It's
bundle
fun.
It. Cool. I got my plot. I'm gonna discard the rest. I'm gonna just grab the first character card that is on top, and
Saying Frank and Me is the name of my favorite hot dog cart.
that's a good one. Frank and me. To be fair, it's Frank apostrophe and apostrophe
Yeah.
me.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Frank and me. So because imagine like buddies, like
Yeah, hey.
middle-aged one.
All right.
Finally,
Classic.
a movie for
Boom.
them.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So it'd be the left. So it's I'm gonna head up first. There's a
All
timer.
right.
Let us know.
So 45 seconds, and you can pause when you want to add a note.
All right.
cool.
And action.
All right, so thank you for seeing me. I really appreciate you coming in. I've actually had a really
anytime.
good week this week, and I think you're going to really like this idea. So interior fancy restaurant. Picture this. You got a shy waiter with a talent for disguises who
Whoa.
must take down a secret Nazi base on the moon. I mean, you're getting a lot here. You're getting kind of the underdog story. You're getting it's inspiration because he wants to be he's a talent for disguises, so he immediately gets recruited by the FBI.
All right, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Pause. What if this main character had a creepy imaginary rabbit friend, though? Just a little more. Just keep going.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. But one of the cool aspects of this is that throughout the movie, he's getting advice from his creepy imaginary rabbit friend. So you're getting like some fun visuals, maybe CGI. You could do it practical if you want, just depending on the budget that you're thinking.
Right.
But as he's invading
Big.
this Nazi base on the moon and taking it down with all of his disguises, he's got a friend giving him pointers.
That sounds exciting.
Yeah, thank you.
That sounds genuinely
Thank you.
exciting.
Thank you,
All
sir.
right.
Appreciate it.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right.
What do we got on this
All
side
right.
of the room?
Let's see. All right, we've got a group of dwarves plotting a revolution who team up with a sociopath to kill the most popular kids at school.
Wow, I gotta
Alright.
stop you already.
Okay.
Pause. Can we make this based on true events?
Yeah.
Can we just like tie this back to the real world?
Yeah,
So the
yeah.
people want these days.
Yeah.
Continue.
So,
Yeah,
group of
Here,
dwarves,
pause. Let me
yeah.
help you out here. What if we just at the same time made this a little bit more about Vikings? Vikings are cool.
Yeah.
Okay,
Carry
so
on.
so as we know, there were definitely back in the day, Vikings really raided people.
Uh-huh.
This is going to be based on true events, like Strangers is based on true events, and
True,
that it's
okay.
not. So so we've got Vikings, but these are dwarf Vikings, but like old school, like Lord of the Rings dwarves.
Dwarf Vikings is sweet.
And they're
I'm in on that.
but they get teleported to the present day.
Okay.
Mid thing, and they have to team up with a sociopath at school to kill the most popular kids at school because they don't know their Viking history.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I'm kind of sold on this.
Yeah.
Interesting. Do you have a title for that?
Titles on the table?
Come Sail Away.
Ooh, the Viking dwarfs really got to get me going.
Worked out
that
really
worked
well.
out really well.
I was gonna say, we got 100 bits here from Catalex. Fund both
Fund
of these
them.
immediately.
Fund these films.
Well, I mean, so mine's like I said, sir. Mine's it's about a shy waiter with a talent for disguises. He must take down a secret Nazi base on the moon. Not alone though. You had the great idea of having a creepy imaginary rabbit friend there with him. So obviously the title, it's like it kind of feels like we could all say it at the same time. If we really thought about it, like it's right there. It's right.
It's on the tip of our tongue.
It's right.
We can do it on 3 probably.
Yeah,
right?
1, 2.
2.
I feel like it's building up. Yeah. It's I'm just trying to. I'm forgetting one movie right now. Inglorious Astronauts.
Inglorious Astronauts.
Bastronauts.
Whoa! Okay, Inglorious
There you go.
Astronauts. A little bit of a save here.
Last minute save.
I gotta be honest. I feel like there haven't been enough movies about dwarf Vikings in a couple years, a couple decades. You know, Nazi moon base is cool, but it's a little played out here in Hollywood.
Interesting.
I think we're gonna have to fund this real life film.
Yeah.
About some dwarf.
You know
Vikings.
what? I really.
Taking
Which part do I
Come
keep?
Sail Away.
Keep your note. Keep one of those notes.
Okay.
Yeah. You feeling proud?
Considering that the making a base off true events almost completely derailed me. Yes. Yeah.
I gotta be honest. The title sold me.
Yeah.
Come Sail Away is too good.
Sail Away.
Too good.
And you were so Bastronauts. Yeah, so we're all 13.
That was
you get
really
it.
good.
Yeah. You get it. All right, so it's my turn again, being judge. We're on best of 3, so go ahead and pick your cards, whatever 3 you'd like. Man, I really like Pitch Storm. This is dope.
This is a great game.
Yeah, this is fun, and also it's a little bit more stressful than
This is.
Red
I
Flags.
genuinely feel the stress of pitching to a producer. It's great.
And also, painting a picture is always fun, ain't it, gang?
Oh gosh.
Oh my God, all of this is great.
Oh yeah.
All right, so you got. Oh yeah.
I need a character here.
Okay, so you need a character.
Beautiful.
So to my left, so DJ.
Yes.
Go ahead. Let me go ahead and get the timer ready.
Yes.
And in 3, 2, doink, go.
So we have a friendly gorilla that can talk through sign language who must defeat a circus full of cannibalistic alien clowns. This worked out for me. So you've got the circus where one of the main attractions is this a gorilla who can talk through sign language, but unfortunately cannibalistic alien clowns have taken over the circus to try and murder and eat little children.
Let's stop
and
for
the
a second.
gorilla has to stop them.
Really quick, because I like this idea, but I want to be in it.
Yeah.
Let's make me a character in there.
You are the circus. You're the what's the guy that runs
ringmaster.
the circus? Ringmaster.
Oh, cool.
You are the most important person in the circus. You are the friend of the sign language gorilla. Yeah, the ring leader. You are not one of the cannibalistic clowns, but you're not clued into what's happening. So the gorilla's trying to let you know, like, hey, this clown thing's happening. Favorite part is when the gorilla's fighting clowns and he has to rip their arms off.
Oh, cool. So you bring up the gorilla, but what if our hero dresses up like a bear and punches women and children at the climax of our movie?
Yeah, that's you. That's you. So once you finally get clued into what the gorilla is going on, you put on the bear costume that you swore off wearing, because that's before you were the ringmaster. You were the guy that dressed up as a bear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Pause.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, you know that. That was from the first
pitch.
movie.
I'm gonna go ahead and grab this from the first movie. All right, I'm gonna.
Do you get different? 3 extra?
You just
time?
make sure you have 3 the whole time. So yeah. So next time we'll go around and make sure we all have them. But Austin, let's. DJ's got an interesting pitch here. We're apparently taking this studio's taking. Hey, we got a big influx of cash, and we want to make basically any movie we want to. What do you got?
This is exciting. The writer's been working so hard. We got a shy nerd. He's hiding a carnivorous plant in their apartment right now, which, you know, is dangerous enough. But the thing about their apartment, it's prison. It's the ultimate apartment complex, a gated community, if you will. They're trying to get out of there. They really are. But this prison is only for the best of the best deadly martial arts masters. Kung Fu Chaos.
Hiding a carnivorous plant in a prison. And
He's shy. He doesn't have friends in prison. He hasn't been walking around making friends yet.
Okay.
But he still has his carnivorous plant.
Really quick, can we add an evil bed that eats people? No one expects
Oh, that's
that.
prison.
Yeah,
that's
for
just
sure.
prison.
That's just
Absolutely. The cool thing about this guy being shy is, he doesn't really talk to a lot of people, and he mostly talks to his bed and the plant. He's mostly in his room most hours, and that bed is dangerous. He's trying to chomp him. That's why he has to leave.
Real quick, what if this whole story took place in a paper supply company?
Well, you know what's great about prison is they're in prison and they're still working like they're not in prison. And this prison's making paper. And we're not just talking money, we're talking paper.
Wow.
We're making greeting cards.
All right, pause, because I let you go over a little bit because I threw it in at the last second. So, interesting. DJ,
Yes.
what title are we looking at this movie?
Ring of Friendship.
Wow.
And wait, sorry, and really quick, some
Yeah,
of the
So
plot.
we have a friendly gorilla that can talk through sign language who must defeat a circus full of cannibalistic alien clowns, and you, producer, are his best friend, and you dress up as a bear and punch women and children in the climax of the movie because those women and children are actually cannibalistic alien clowns in disguise.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And it's Ring of Friendship.
Ring of Friendship.
Okay, cool. And Austin, how are we feeling about this? How are we feeling about this movie?
This one's fun. I was surprised by their title choice, but I feel like it kind of sums up the chaos that this movie is. We have a carnivorous plant, a shy nerd, a man-eating bed, and they're all trying to leave prison full of ninjas. They're going to call this Kung Fu Sia. Kung Fu Sia.
And it's a paper supply company, and forgot I did.
That's
that
about how
last
they get
one.
out. They use their job to sneak out. They're sending letters, and they're also sending themselves.
Honestly,
Kung Fu Sia.
Honestly, this is tough.
Yeah.
This is tough, gang. This is tough.
We can just make them both.
This is tough. No, man, it's at this very second, we only have funding for one movie.
Classic producer.
You know what? I kind of want to see myself on the big screen. I got to give it a DJ.
That's fair.
All right,
Take it.
all right.
So you got 2 points. You got 2 points. 3 is to win. Go ahead and discard your cards.
Very good.
DJ, you get to be the judge.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go ahead and pick my 3 character cards. And Austin, we're gonna be pitching to him.
All right, I'm gonna go plot. 3 plot cards here.
Wow, that's a lot of ways to describe someone. Okay, cool. Okay.
Oh, this is
All right.
Woo!
Okay, got my character, got my plot.
All right.
Yeah, and you can replenish your
note
cards in between. DJ, do you want a time or you want me to time?
I got a time.
Cool. Let me know when you're ready. Austin,
Go.
you go first. Oh, sorry. Go for it.
Oh, me first? Great. I'm prepared for it.
Yeah.
So, here's the crazy part. We just found out who we're getting for this. And it's actually a half-goat man desperate to please his master.
Yeah.
And his master today is his local drug dealer.
Whoa.
The local man on the corner selling him some nice drugs. And he swears, I just need 5 more minutes. I'll get you your money. Just 5 more minutes.
What if we had a sex scene during a car chase?
Well, that's the best part.
Yeah.
Is there's a part during the movie, I don't want to spoil too hard, but the half-goat man is fleeing the scene, running from that drug dealer, and there's a babe in the car. We all saw it coming.
I like babes.
We all saw it
babes.
coming.
Yeah.
And he's trying to get away from the dealer. But there's still time for some action.
Gotcha.
You know,
Sounding a lot like Crank.
the film for the
Yeah.
boys. Yeah.
Hold on. What if let's try this setting. Let's try setting this in a Taco Bell from the future.
Well, I gotta be honest. That's where a lot of dealers are hanging out these days,
Gotcha.
especially in the future.
Oh yeah.
Gotcha.
You can get your Gordita Crunch and you can get your weed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You get both.
there you
The
go.
one or
Okay,
the number
okay.
2.
Sure.
All right, that sounded pretty good. You think about that name, but let's hear Sam's
about-
pitch.
All right, cool. Check this out. All right. Setting. Haunted cemetery.
Okay.
Already feeling spooky.
There you go.
And guess who our main star is? He's a priest that kicks ass for the Lord.
Okay.
He's got a calling, and it's to deal out justice. Not only that, on a deadly, and this movie is set in the best thing you could possibly set any movie, on a deadly white water rafting trip.
Okay.
So he's got to get away. He's been doing his job too well. Picture Hot Fuzz, if you will.
Okay.
He's just he's like the sheriff of London. This priest is the sheriff of this specific cemetery.
Gotcha.
Kicking ass. He's taking down vampires, werewolves,
Yeah.
Frankensteins, demons,
Yes.
ghosts, what have you.
Yes.
And right now he's trying to unwind.
Hold
but
on,
guess
hold
what?
on.
It's a haunted
2 words.
campground.
Laser dogs.
Laser
Oh,
dogs.
yeah.
Well, okay, so one of the coolest things is that the Lord sometimes comes in handy, and he's
Yeah.
able to give our lead priest a hand.
Yeah.
And on his right and left hand, if you will, and those are specifically, as we know from the Bible, is laser dogs.
Laser
And,
dogs.
yeah,
Laser dogs.
Biblical laser dogs.
All right, hold on. All right, Austin, what's the name of yours?
Right now, this movie is one of those movies where you're in the theater and you want to talk out loud so bad because you just want to say, damn. There's that sex scene when they're driving.
Yeah.
So we're gonna call this half goat, half damn. This is a good movie.
Not bad. Previously, there was a title with a similar, that's not similar to the one I'm about to tell you, but I feel like this one kind of fit.
Okay.
It's a little bit better. Kung Fu Christian.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's a finally movie. It's finally the action movie that Christians want. it feels, it really makes it more fun for them, but also it becomes approachable. It's like, you know what? I should go check out church. I only go on Easter and Christmas.
You know what? You got me at the title. I'm gonna go with Kung Fu Christian.
I'm also seeing that movie.
Yeah. I'm also seeing.
I'll be honest. I really want to see this movie.
Yeah.
Whitewater rafting trip. Count me sin.
Whoa.
He's got the taglines. He's got the taglines.
I'm really sorry, guys.
That was great.
I'm sorry. All right, Austin, you're our judge.
Let's do this.
Actually, this is going to decide the winner.
This is going to decide the winner.
This decides it all.
All right, so I'm going to pick my character card, and you can pick 3 note cards, and you can replenish them in between.
All right.
Here we go.
All right.
Let's see what we got here. I got some good producer's notes.
Oh man. Okay, well, I got my character card, and here's a random plot card, and I'll go first. So whenever you're ready, sir, I have a pitch ready.
Sounds great. All right, I've been waiting for a good story to hit my desk. Go for it.
I've got it here for you, sir. Imagine this. People are getting more into science, STEM, if you will, the STEM studies.
Course.
So we've got our lead is an astronomer that thinks they've made contact with aliens, and that's a really big mystery in the movie. But also, they try to take down the top flute player in the band.
Wow. Really quick, I gotta say pause. They're trying to make contact with aliens, right?
Yeah.
That's a little weird because I think dialogue is just so excessive these days. And when you're trying to contact aliens, can we just replace all the dialogue with the word dude?
Well, what's cool about this movie is that our astronomers, like I was kind of getting to there, they're trying to take down the top flute player in band. So they're high schoolers.
Dude.
They're possibly stoners, and they're like, whoa, dude. And it's kind of like they're using dude in more colloquial terms for the youngins to get them interested in STEM, but also let's take down this dumb flute player.
Yeah, pause. They gotta take down this flute player, but what if we had like a nice subplot where the characters have to rescue a princess?
Oh, for sure.
I'd love to see that.
There's just a lot of elements here where it's like they definitely have contact with aliens, at least in their high mind. So they're thinking, I gotta save this Princess Babe to really prove that the aliens are here, and now we're really sticking to this flautist.
That's a good sell. That's a good sell. I'm thinking about seeing that one.
Thanks, man.
I think you ran into your title too, by the way. If you could.
I'll figure it out. I think I lost it.
We'll
but
see.
I'll try to see if I'm clever enough to figure it out.
We will see.
Yeah.
All right. But we got more competition out here. We have a couple
do.
stories here today.
All right.
What do we got here?
A troubled kid with supernatural abilities makes a selfish wish in a demonic well. I also feel
Wow.
like I lucked out with this one. So obviously this kid has supernatural. You think about The Shining. He's got that kid, the little kid. Danny has the shine, right? That kid. He's struggling with his supernatural abilities. That's what makes him troubled.
I'm gonna say pause.
Okay.
It's a kid, right?
So early on.
Yeah.
I got some bad news. I just got some bad news. Our star, this kid, probably gonna die about halfway through the filming. Can we just work around that? Continue.
No, actually, this is really perfect because Psycho killed off its main protagonist halfway through, notoriously.
Good point.
Spoilers, and so we could just incorporate that into the script. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it starts off with this kid. You're like, it's about this kid, but then he makes this wish in a demonic wishing well, and it ends him. So another kid finds the well, and you're like, oh, is it going to take 2 kids?
I gotta pause on this one. This is a great idea. First off, but what if we made this a rock opera?
Perfect. Everybody knows troubled kids. Everybody knows troubled kids love rock and roll. They love music. Musicals are on an upswing. Think about like Anna the Apocalypse and others, right? And so you can make this in a musical.
I like that. It's gonna sound great in the well.
Yeah.
It's gonna have good acoustics.
Yeah.
These are good choices here. Do you have a title for your
of course
movie?
I do. I mean, it kind of speaks for itself. I also like to hear DJ's
Yeah.
pitch later, but this is my pitch.
It's on the tip of your tongue.
So, just to refresh, sir, again, thank you for having me in
course,
here. Thank you for the
anytime.
free water. I really appreciate it. I've been waiting in the lobby for a couple days
This
now.
on.
I'm waiting to pitch this perfect movie for you. It's you got your astronomer that thinks they made contact with aliens and tries to take down the top flute player in the band, and they're saying "dude" the whole time because it's like it's just I want to relate with everybody, and guess what? It's going to come back in the title, and also we're going to be rescued a kidnapped princess, alien princess, bringing them back. It's really going to show to that flautist.
We'd love to see that. We'd love to see that.
And what I'm just feeling, it's in the ether. It kind of just formed itself. Honestly, it's Close Encounters of the Dude kind. Can we get some, like, dudes in the chat?
Okay.
There you go.
If DJ probably had a better one based on how confident he was a
Close
second
Encounters of
ago.
a Dude
It's just based
kind.
on something you said. I
love that.
You said stick it to the flautist, and I was like, that should be your title.
That
Stick it
is
to the
good.
flautist.
Good.
Yeah.
All right,
Sorry, but I have to be honest. I came up with mine. You gotta stick with that one.
Yeah,
Fair,
so
fair.
so this is about a troubled kid who makes with supernatural abilities, who makes a selfish wish and a demonic wishing well, but halfway through we kill him off, shocking the audience, and the whole thing is a rock opera musical, and I think it should be called Wicked Wish.
Wow.
Ooh. Also, Kate Lex says petition to make all movies rock operas.
Good point.
Let us know in the chat.
All right, so me and the fellow producers, we've been scheming, we've been plotting.
Yeah.
We love movies.
Oh yeah.
We
for
love
sure.
films.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
But this one sounds really good. Wicked Wish.
Wicked
I
Wish.
cannot wait.
Yeah.
That title
Sounds
pretty dang good.
I just want to see that kid die halfway through.
Yeah, and the character advertised is not the lead.
Yeah.
Yeah, he shouldn't have made that selfish wish.
Yeah, nah, that wicked wish.
That Wicked Wish.
That'll teach that kid.
And then of course on the boxes, be careful what you wish for.
Yeah,
Of course.
Boom.
really
Of course.
simple.
Yeah.
That's actually super solid. So DJ, you're a winner.
I want to see that.
Yeah.
You know what, last one. Since you have two, I have two.
Okay.
Here, let's really quick.
Okay.
Let's see who the second place is.
All
So,
right.
Sounds good, yeah.
DJ, you be our judge.
All
I'm
right.
gonna discard these.
All
Go
right.
ahead and pick whichever ones you would like.
I'm gonna go character this time.
Go for it.
This game is really wonderful.
Yeah,
I'm
this
gonna
is-
have to pick this one up.
Oh man, I you know what would be fun is to play this drunk so you can get like that passion,
Oh,
like
the
that
drunk passion,
strong
yeah.
passion.
This is
All
a
right.
great drinking game.
Cool. So let me pick my plot. Ooh.
It is ridiculous.
Oh, cool. Okay. So I'm excited. Come on.
All right.
Austin, go ahead. Since it's to the left, you can go
For
first.
sure.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Great news. I've been working all year on this.
3, 2,
script.
1, go.
It's a good one.
It's your magnum opus.
It starts off with a wisecracking baby. Everyone
Yeah.
loves a funny little baby.
Boss
Look
baby.
who's talking.
Yeah.
And let's see what they're doing. They're struggling to bring their best friend back from the dead. Hey,
Yeah.
listen, sometimes babies die.
Yeah.
It sucks. It's never fun for anybody.
Hold on.
Yeah.
What if a major character got eaten by a shark in the middle of a big speech?
Well, that's the hard part, is while he's trying to save his friend coming back from the dead,
Yeah.
he gets eaten by a shark.
Main character or the friend?
Oh no, the main character, that friend's still dead. But it's a Jonah and the whale situation.
Gotcha,
It's a
gotcha,
small
gotcha.
baby, scale-wise, he fits right in that shark tum-tum.
Yeah,
He's
for
hanging
sure.
out, he's chilling,
Okay.
and that doesn't, stop him. He's just gonna run around and punch that shark from the inside.
Wisecracking.
Gotcha.
Yeah, wisecrack, I'm the baby,
Yeah.
and kick a little bit.
Classic.
He does get out of that shark, and he needs to continue finding his
All right.
dead friend, but
Gotcha.
I don't want to
gotcha.
spoil
All
it.
right. All right.
I don't
All right.
want to
So
spoil it.
that's your pitch, Sam.
Sir, thank you for seeing me. I really appreciate it. Picture it's New York City.
Yeah.
City of Lights. You got your crime-fighting robots. Oh my god, this worked out so well. You got your crime-fighting robots, and they got to fight in a boxing match against their ultimate rival. Let's just pick a character card. You're the ultimate rival, a knight sworn to protect their kingdom, and the kingdom is
Ooh.
New York. So this
Gotcha,
robot,
gotcha.
crime-fighting. So they've been fighting crime.
Hold on,
and,
real sec,
yes,
real quick.
But I
That's
feel like
cool and all,
I feel like
but-
this is perfect though.
This needs to be sexier. What if they were all topless?
No, for sure. Sir, the robot is immediately topless and ripped. And it's
Okay.
just like, where's that baby oil coming from? They're constantly
Gotcha.
coated. And the knight sworn to protect their kingdom. That knight's shirtless, you best believe.
Okay, hold on. Let's replace all the villains with cows. We have a deal with Chick-fil-A.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, for sure. But the knight isn't what you think. It's actually there's a appeal there to
Go
the
on.
younger audiences that like this is actually an animal night, and it's meant to protect the upstate
Okay.
New York
All right. All
farms.
right. All right.
Animal
All right.
night.
All right.
Yeah.
So Austin, going back to yours, what's the name of yours?
Oh man, this one's well, wisecracking baby.
I feel like that's your tagline. I didn't see that as much of a title, but I see what you're doing there.
It's one of those sentence titles. It's one of those I forgot to think of a title until the
Gotcha.
second you asked me for a title.
Gotcha.
The title just came rushing at me like a wave of happiness. I know
Oh.
I've said
Yeah.
a similar subtitle for
Yeah.
a lot of these,
Yeah.
but think about this. Buckle up. Close your eyes.
Okay.
Close your eyes.
All right.
Ready? Close your eyes. R2 Kung Fu.
That is a little close to your other
Yeah, I'm
other
gonna
titles.
need you to forget those other ones because
Yeah.
I lost at those ones. So I really am waiting for that
No,
one to
the
come out.
Kung Fu one got you that other time.
Oh, I did it?
Yeah.
Then I bungled it. But R2 Kung Fu because it's a robot and he's here.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Both your titles are a little weak.
The title's weak, but
So
the
I gotta
story.
go. I gotta go based off the story, and so I'm gonna go with Sam.
Oh,
Okay.
All right, second place, but hey, good game.
Hey, good games all
game.
around.
Good game.
game.
Good game.
Good game.
Good
Good
game.
game.
Good
Good
game.
game.
Guys, this is our last plays of the year. I want to thank you all for joining us, being a part of our live show. We will be back in January of 2019.
Yes, buckle up. There's going to be so much fun stuff you're not going to want to miss out. So make sure you're following us here at twitch.tv/playnoggin and subscribe to youtube.com/onlystupidanswers. But also go check out onlystupidanswers.com for all of our podcast goodies and patreon.com/onlystupidanswers for all the fun extra stuff because there's going to be a lot over the break.
Yeah.
I'm DJ Woolders. You can find me at DJ Talks Trash.
I'm Austin Dodge. I'm on Twitch. Austin Dodge with a 1 for the eye.
At Sam Basher, everywhere that matters. Easy peasy. Go check out Rude Gamer on Gamma Ray. It's a fun little game show that I do. But gang, have a good holiday season. If you're not celebrating anything, just have a good little break if you can.
Yeah.
And we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.
Bye.
Let's see if we can get this thing here.
Oh yeah, he's got to run and do that thing.
That was fun. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.